Hey, I'm Nashi.
I'm Rezlar.
And I'm Frosty. Welcome back to the Value Pack.
Hold on, I have to gear check Nash right now. Alright, that is some bull jabber. Dude, he CC'd me out of dance. What's happening? Rezlar!
People look at you like you're crazy, and they refuse to admit that it's pay to win, and just scream that it's pay to convenience! It's pay to convenience!
Big money, big money, big money,
Big
money!
Oh shit! We got it! We fucking got it! And welcome everybody to another episode of the Value Pack. We are back. We took a break last week. Various IRL things were going on that kind of made it hard for us to get a time where we could do this together. So we ended up skipping. But now we're back, and holy shit, has some shit happened in 2 weeks. First, I should let you guys know that we do not have Nyashi with us today. He is currently on vacation. I think in where did he say he was? He said country, but I don't remember where exactly
he said country, but I think he meant Tampa Bay. I can't remember.
Is that country?
Compared to where he normally lives, it's a beautiful country, yeah.
Fair. So yeah, no Nyashi today. Unfortunately, he's on vacation, so we won't have him with us today. But still, we got a lot of things to cover. We got some class reworks to go over. The Sage and Nova nerfs hit, and most importantly, Frosty is he made it in the big leagues now. So we got to talk about that. But first, before we get to any of that,
I play baseball now.
Before we get to any of that, we got to thank our lovely patrons. Hawaiian, I Has Issues, Jeremy Johnson, Calahad, Melt on Your Mouth, Minaria, Slytech, Talus, X Septum, thanks, and Wavesy. Appreciate you guys and everybody else who supports us on Patreon, who supports us on our individual Twitch streams, which you can find in the description down below. Frosty, man, it's been a minute.
It has been a couple weeks. We haven't talked. We haven't talked BDO in a hot second.
Yeah, no, we haven't. So first up, arguably the biggest thing that's going down is we have previews of the reworks for 2 classes, Warrior and Ranger.
We do. They're not on GLabs yet, but we do have a preview of it. They had like a stream where they talked about a bunch of different things. All of it we'll go over, but yeah, they showed Warrior and Ranger. So I kind of want to start this off by reading what they said about the reworks, and then we can watch the videos together, the 2 previews. So they said class reboot. Warrior and Ranger will be the first 2 classes to receive the rework. The character reboot will not just be
Can you link me this?
Yes. There you go.
Thank you.
What they said, the character reboot will not just be a simple stat adjustment and will pay attention to the class damage, range, accuracy, etc. Flow skills will be improved and simplified. New skills will be added as needed, or unused skills may be changed. In PvP, one of the focus points for Warrior is to improve the engage and disengage by adding new skills and adjusting the current cooldown times. The main focus for Warrior, though, is PvE, and they mention that Warriors use both Awakening and Pre-Awakening, which causes fatigue when grinding. However, if you only use Awakening, it feels too lackluster, so the plans are to improve the cooldowns and the AoEs in Awakening. The skill flow Reckless Blow will have a cooldown reduced by 1 second, and the charging part of the skill will be removed to help it flow better. In addition, a new Awakening only skill will be added for Warrior, which is kind of nuts. You say for each class, in both Succession and Awakening, they're going to focus on the character's weaknesses as seen by the players. Rebooted classes will be released on GLab in the order of original release. However, all reworks will be coming to live servers at the same time after being completed on GLab. So, kind of a bit of a, kind of a lot there.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of a lot.
Kind of a lot there. So, a couple takeaways just from the text right off the bat is, 1, there will be entirely new skills for some of the classes, maybe not all of them, as well as reworking skills, as well as like these reworks aren't just like to improve PvP, but also like in the instance of Warrior, it's going to have a lot of focus on PvE. And one of the things before we watched the video, you and Nyashi were having a discussion about this, because Nyashi was saying, does Warrior actually need like engage, disengage? But you were saying, and this is one of the most common things I hear, like when we talk to Sphero or any other Warrior in Node War, but them saying that improving the engage and disengage for large scale actually is like a little bit of a problem, Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, I think it's a problem with most of the melee classes. It's the ability to get in and get out is a bit lackluster. You'll just end up getting clapped by trying to get in, which is why you see a lot of melee classes trying to play more like on the flank, on the sides. You'll see like strikers and warriors instead of being like up front and center, they'll be on the sides trying to cut in. Because it's a lot easier to get in if you don't have a bunch of suck rangers and archers and wizards and witches and corsairs now, awakening corsairs and sages and all that bullshit, throwing shit at you. So yeah, I think the engage and the disengage for large scale for pretty much every melee class can be a bit better in one way or another, whether that's cooldowns or movement protection. Just kind of depends per class, but yeah. So yeah, I know like Warrior's insane in 1v1, and that's what Nayashe was concerned about. Is he's like, well, they're already so good in 1v1. Do they need more movement? But I don't know. I think there's a way to make their movement, their engage and disengage better in large scale without making them overtuned. At least more overtuned than they already are in terms of their movement in 1v1s.
Yeah. So I'm popping this on stream, so if you want to watch it at the exact same time. But here is the demo of their warrior rework. So again, this is from a live stream, so it's not like super high quality. At least I'm replaying it on YouTube. I don't know. Yeah. So here we go. So this is Succession first that they're showing here. That looks so insane to me. Looks so freaking cool.
강타는 약간
Yeah.
진짜 강타같이.
많은 분들이 뭐야 막 이러면서
예전보다 조금
홈이
네. 저희가 공통적으로 약간 범위 이런 부분 많이.
So now it's showing it
네.
PvEing a little bit in Sakrea. The AoEs look nutty though.
Yeah, they look a lot bigger.
They do.
For sure.
And then now they're showing
Double
Awakening.
ground smash. The double ground smash is interesting.
맨손 도출 24시 자닥이라고 이것도 괜찮다고 그러네요.
Dude, the AoEs on that too. Is that SLMB?
검은 사막 처음
Yeah, so well, we'll talk about once the video is over, but yeah.
콤보 사용을 좀 편의성 있게 좀 많이 준비를 해봤고요.
콤보 그렇죠. 각성원이는 정말
These animations are looking fresh though, Rez.
Yeah, they are.
God damn.
그러니까 좀 더 그 리부트를 좀 자세하게 설명해 드릴게요.
Dude, I want to know this guy's gear. It looked like right when he did. I mean, all he does is like it looks like solar flare space, right? Like it's like, and their mobs are like half health.
그러니까 좀더 그
Like the fuck?
좀 자세하게 설명해
네네.
드릴게요.
많은 분들이 오.
Yeah, they could possibly be like
감탄사.
full pin
Dude.
C20 for all we know. Who knows? But
네.
yeah, some interesting things about this. At least some stuff that I found interesting. The double ground smash from the Succession is interesting. It like launches them,
Yeah.
which is super interesting. And then it looks like the run forward part. I'm not sure if that is. I almost feel like that might be charging thrust.
Yeah, look. It looks like it. Let me see if there's protection.
It looks like it might be
but
the
there's
new
no-
charging thrust, but also it could be the.
There's no forward
fuck,
guard on
what's
it.
it called?
Isn't charging thrust
It-
forward guard?
It might be the frenzied dash. Then I think it's called frenzied charge or something like that.
Hmm.
It's a completely useless skill currently because the animation on it is so long and it really doesn't take you that far. But that actually, it might be that skill because that skill is useless right now, and that's a big focus on their reworks is turning the useless skills into actually useful ones.
Yeah. I mean, that being unprotected, because the leap part obviously is protected, but the little scoot run forward is not. So like that.
Well, that's the
leading-
different skill.
Yeah. Well, no. Look right here. He does the same thing like this. He throws this, or is he just doing the? Is that just the the
That's
Rabam?
the Rabam.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
okay.
the Rabam. Almost certainly, that's the Rabam.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it looks like the Rabam flows right into that new skill too.
Yeah, it does. It flows straight into that like leaping ground slam or ground smash. I
Right.
think it's called.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, like kind of looks crazy. Yeah, and the double, it looks like if you use it back to back, like the second one just like leaps you forward, but the AoE on it is
Yeah.
fucking gigantic.
The AoE is huge.
Okay.
And then with Awakening, so you see
For-
Slashing the Dead AoE has gotten
Dude,
a lot bigger.
It has these two like
The
flames
side
on the
slashes,
sides.
yeah,
Dude,
it's
with like
so cool
they
looking.
look like 2 additional swords spinning forward. It looks so freaking cool. I love that
Yes.
animation, dude. That looks so freaking cool. And then yeah, grave digging, like at least the spin part looks like the AoE's a lot bigger, and then the last hit looks pretty similar. And then that, I mean, that's reckless blow, right?
Yeah, so this is Reckless Blow. So right now in live server, you have Pulverize, which is down LMB, and then you have a flow to Pulverize, which is basically just a second Pulverize, is essentially what it is. Now, currently on live, you can do the flow after Reckless. What's interesting about this is he goes from Reckless into what I assume is Pulverize into the flow for Pulverize, which you can't do. You used to be able to do a cancel for it. I don't know if that cancel still exists, but it was really complicated and not really worth it. It's just kind of gimmicky. So it looks like they're making it to where you can go from Reckless straight into Pulverize and then maybe go into the flow after the Pulverize, which is interesting.
So they said they're removing the charge for reckless. Does this charge look faster than the normal one? Does it look any different to you?
This is one of those things where I might be speaking out of turn because again, I am just a lowly former warrior. I don't currently play the class. I do believe that they sped up the charge on it a while back. So to my eyes, it looks faster than what I remember, but what I remember was before they sped it up. So that might not be what they're talking about when they say that they're going to remove it. It might get cut down even more. I don't know.
Yeah, I just thought it was odd because it was like there's a clear charging animation in here. JM saying that Biceptimus was saying that the charge is definitely faster in the video, like a lot faster. So
okay.
I'm wondering if it's still like, do you have protection while it's charging?
You have frontal guard.
Your frontal guard, okay. That's so weird though. It like doesn't show him with the frontal guard icon during it. Yeah, he charges and there's no frontal guard until he gets to like
Hold on,
the
go
pulverize.
back again.
So he like has
You're
super
right.
armor at the end of this skill. Into slashing.
At the end of slashing.
Or is it just maybe he has super armor? Wait, let me see when he does it in this. Oh yeah, it's super armor. Look. Yeah, he has super armor during the charge, and then right when the charge ends, the protection goes away. I guess because it has CC. I assume.
Ah.
Wait. Hold on. Okay, never mind. Yeah. And then the two parts of pulverize.
Pulverize, yeah, it's frontal guard. Okay. Yeah. So again, this might be a result of me being a former warrior, but I'm pretty confident that it is frontal guard in live. So maybe they're changing it to SA, I guess.
Let's see. I'm gonna check real quick on my warrior, just to make sure. And I want to see where the protection starts and ends. Fritz is saying it's SA, always been SA. And then knockdown is unprotected. Okay.
Yeah, the hit is unprotected.
All right, that makes sense then. All right, I'm just gonna charge it just to see what it looks like in comparison. Oh yeah. It's definitely faster. It's like cut in half, maybe even more, to how I see it in here.
Yeah.
Dude, it's such a long cooldown. Well, that's kind of cool. Like that's these are huge changes. I don't know, like they seem like really big to me. So yeah, super armor while charging, knockdown on hits. Yeah, that charge is like forever. It's crazy. And I don't know, like I guess overall, like I don't know, we don't have any damage numbers, right? So we have no idea what anything looks like, but the AoE sizes are noticeably bigger though. All right, let's
so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I think I mean, again, it's I can't stress enough that I am just a former warrior. I do not play the class. I have not played the class in a very long time now. So if there is a warrior out there that is telling you something opposite of what I am saying, please, for the love of God, take their word over what I'm saying. But uh, I think that it looks pretty good, honestly. I'm pretty excited about it. I might even retry playing the class post rework. So
Yeah. All right, so here's the Ranger one. This one will play the first time with audio, so everyone can kind of hear what I don't know what they're saying.
they're reacting,
Yeah, they're reacting to it. All right, so here's
even though
the
they've
Ranger one.
probably seen it before.
이번엔 레인저.
아 레인저네요. 레인저.
레인저는 뭐 제가 기술의 범위를 전체적으로 좀 많이 증가를 시켰습니다.
범위.
Dude, that new like little range skill is kind of crazy.
그리고 사냥에서는 재창조는 바람의 임무를 사용해서 자기 주변에 이제 광역 피해를 좀 넣을 수 있게 해봤고요.
네.
So this is all awakening. I like that he pulls with that skill.
그리고 각성
Yeah.
상태로 또 이제
Kinda
원거리
interesting.
전개나 또 먼거리 몬스터를 좀 미리 타격할 수 있게 네, 그렇게 했고 바람의
And he uses it again at the end. And then here's awakening.
연계할 수 있게도 좀 개선을 해봤습니다.
I mean, sorry, Succession. Succession to me looks so similar, but I don't know. Like I feel like I'd have to ask a ranger to like really notice the differences. To me, it kind of looks the same. I don't know.
그리고 감명의
I don't
질풍,
know
즉
shit
감명의
about
질풍이나
Rangers,
강성의
so I
질풍,
can't speak
다운로드
worth a damn. The only thing, and this is something that I heard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
감명의 질풍,
Sorry, go on.
다운어택
What were you gonna say? Back attacks?
추가를 했고요.
Yes, I was gonna say back
Yeah,
attacks,
so-
which I
so
I
you-
do believe I see the indicator.
다운어택, 그리고
So
바로 연계할 수 있게
I need to see. Hold on, let me look and see. With the awakened skills, you do still see them already, like from time to time, like if you're up close. So it doesn't really show us much here. But with Succession, like you wouldn't unless you're like point blank. So if any of these are from range, yeah. So like you can see in this very first hit, the mob is facing the other way, and he uses skill, and you see back attack immediately. Like how far away he
Yeah.
is from that mob, Rangers would not see the back attack modifier, like 100%. So that's definitely new.
네, 전승은 이제 재창조를 쓰면서 이어서 쓸 수 있는 콤보들
Let me see if when he's fighting the mobs.
감명의 질풍, 극 감명의
Yeah,
질풍이
back attack.
감명의 질풍에 다운어택 다시 추가를 했고요.
Air attack.
흐름 선회하는 바람
Yeah, so here, I mean, just right there, you can already see, like immediately when he's using Wailing Wind to like reposition, you can see the back attacks like right away, and they're too far. Like literally, you'd only see anytime they do get back attacks, they are like literally on top of the mob. So anytime you see it from like any amount of distance, it's completely new. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I assume Archer will get the same treatment though.
God, I
That's
hope
my
so.
guess. Yeah, and there's a bunch of back attacks right here too when these mobs are getting up. So really, it's like it's not too unrealistic to expect to see a back attack on this first mob that's directly in front of her. But these mobs over here, like you wouldn't see back attacks with even in her awakening. So that's pretty cool. As far
that's
as like
huge.
new skills, this skill here, so that's normal breezy blade, that's rushing wind, and then right here this spin slash is like kind of new, and then it goes into the new skill that they got a few months ago when we all got a new skill. So like right
Yeah.
in there they fit in like this new skill. I can't tell if it's protected. It goes from super armor to forward guard, but yeah, it's hard to tell if
It
it's
looks like
protected.
it
but-
is protected, but it looks like there's a gap.
So
It
oh
looks
yeah,
like-
yeah, at the end. So it's like super armor. That's interesting because I thought in the
Yeah.
original demo it was forward guard, but it's like a super armor AOE slash, and then this skill that's like the range, like poke or whatever. I believe is a float. They showed it as a float in the demo before, but yeah, that part's not, that's not protected. Someone was pointing out that it shows them throw the tree down before these little demos as maybe an indicator that maybe the tree in Awakening does something like it does in Succession. Because in Succession, a while back, they made it so like some of the skills are augmented when the tree buff is popped. You get like a couple like pet damage on some of the arrows. like added to the
Right.
skill, so maybe it's doing something like that in Awakening. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense in like people don't really throw that down in PvE unless you're at like a spot where you absolutely need evasion or accuracy.
So Mina wants me to ask, how much did Lemuria rant about it yesterday? I know for a fact he was screaming about it on Friday.
Actually, he was talking about how it looked really cool, but I didn't get like that much time to talk to Lemuria, so but he was pretty excited. He said that it looked super cool. All right, I'm trying to think. There's something else new in here, I think, or maybe the skill just has such a low cooldown, the big AoE skill. So they use Wailing Wind, which Wailing Wind to me, maybe it's just remastered, but that shit looks bigger right here. This is the Q skill, the forward guard Q skill. Right when she turns around,
looks bigger.
it looks huge,
wider.
right? It looks fucking
It looks wider.
massive.
Yeah.
And then this,
That's
like,
way
that's
bigger as well,
Waltz.
it looks like.
Yeah, Waltz also looks way fucking bigger. And then they, I believe she uses regeneration there, and then pops regeneration with. Let me see what skills. That's so shiny, it's hard to tell. Okay, with Nature's Tremble. And then her Waltz AoE looks insane. And then she uses Breezy, and then Rushing Wind, and then that new skill. And then their newer skill. Yeah, so Waltz just looks fucking huge now. Like the AoE on Waltz looks gigantic. That's actually super hype, dude. Dude. I can't wait for this shit to come out. I hate it, dude. I hate that it's so far away. Okay, so Succession, I admittedly know a lot less about. Is this new? Is this little flip back new? I don't remember this animation.
I think they have it, but and again, I don't know shit about Ranger, but I think they have something like that, but it's like bad. It's like nobody uses it because it's really bad. I think.
Someone's saying the back hop is new. That specific one.
Yeah, maybe. I swear they have something like that where they can hop backwards, but I think it's kind of bad. No one uses it, I think.
So EES, and then they do a shot after here, a super armor disengage shot. Is that new? That also looks new to me.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
So they EES to the side, and then they do a super armor back hop, and I don't think they have a super armor shot that moves them currently. Yeah, people are saying
so that's the equivalent of the Archer's Shift S, which I can't recall the name of off the top of my head.
They show 2 classes a week. We're gonna wait 2 months, dude. I wish they do, but I have a feeling a lot of the weeks are gonna be 1 class. Yeah, so Ranger also looks really cool. Ranger I think looks a little bit less flashy, like compared to the like at least Succession. But I partly think that's because Ranger skills already looked nice. The Warrior skills to me always looked so bland in Pre-Awakening. So,
yeah, well that's what I would argue is that Warrior arguably got more stuff than Ranger did, just in that preview alone. I mean, who knows? That might not be the case when the actual shit comes out, but.
Yeah, but I also think that that's like also more emphasized from the fact that yeah, like the Warrior skills just don't look cool at all. So the fact that they do, like everything looks brand new. If that makes any sense. Whereas like when you see Waltz and stuff, it's like you already know those skills. So I don't know. The Ranger one looks really cool. Hopefully I wonder if they're gonna show like these 2 previews or a preview every week before it's actually on Global Labs.
That would be cool. I hope they do that, honestly. Previews would be nice. Communication, please, PA. That's like if there's one takeaway we can get from all the like good things that you've been doing recently, communication. Just talk with us. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what you're thinking, and collect feedback, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way to but we need a way to keep track of it. Like, what do you think? What's one thing you think they're for sure gonna change on your class on Zerker? Now that you have a better idea.
It's called Zephyr Leap, by the way. That's the skill. I couldn't remember the name of Archer's Zephyr Leap.
Is Shift S? Okay.
It's a frontal guard skill on Archer. Obviously, it was SA in that preview, but it does the same thing where it launches them backwards and fires a little shot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting that they're giving them that for a little bit of extra disengage. So what am I expecting on Zerker?
Yeah, so now that you know they're gonna add a new skill, or potentially add a new skill, rework older skills that are not being used, change damage, range, accuracy, etc. What is one thing that you're like, okay, they're probably gonna do blank on Zerker?
I mean, I don't know. So it seems like a big focus for them, I think, because they keep talking about it, and I think that that's what we saw in that Warrior preview as well with the frenzied charge or frenzied dash or whatever the fuck it's called. Is there seems to be a big focus on useless skills, on taking these skills that nobody touches and trying to make them actually good. Um, what's interesting about Zerker is Zerker doesn't really have too many of those. A lot of the secondary skills kind of fall in that category, at least in Awakening. Weakling Hunt and Falling Rock are both completely useless. And then Tackling Rock is really only useful in Succession.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see them doing a lot of stuff with those three skills possibly. Um, as far as Awakening goes, though, I mean, honest to God, the only thing Awakening needs is Giant Leap needs to be iframed the second you're in the air. The second your feet are off the ground and you are in the air, just make it iframe. I mean, obviously there's some more changes than that could be made, but man, you would make a lot of Zerkers really fucking happy if you just did that one change. So I don't know. We'll see what they end up doing. I feel like Zerker's AoEs are fine. I don't know. I'm kind of scared of like
What
saying
about
that
on
they
like
should
filler
change.
damage? What about on filler stuff? Are the AoEs fine? Like if you're trying to be like optimal on Awakening Zerker in PvE, is every skill basically hitting every mob, or are the AoEs like decent in that regard?
I mean, pretty much. The only one that I would say maybe not is like blasting. Blasting's AoE is kind of small, but I mean, I think that's the case for most classes because blasting is your down LMB skill, which is on a lot of classes a like enhanced auto attack essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's the same thing with Zerker, but I don't grind on Awakening, so again, I can't really be like the end authority for that. But I feel like Awakening Zerker in PvE is fine. It busts your hands a little bit because you have to put like some effort into it. But post Seismic, man, they're doing fine. They're doing better than Succession from what I understand. It's just you have to kill your hands to do it. So yeah, I don't know. I think some changes with Titan Blow could be nice to see that implemented a little bit more into the PvP. That could be fun. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, someone else also saying it in chat. Wonder if they'll do anything about back LMB that so many classes have that almost none use. Like that like glorified auto attack, I feel like is like the most simple. Like if all you have to do is give that an AoE and PvE damage, like every class has filler damage. I don't know how that hasn't already been a thing, but and SLMB is such a like a chill key combo for grinding too. And a lot of the classes use that or that have that skill. It's usually like two or four hits, you know, like 2, 3, 4 hits, so you like can hold it for a second. I don't know. Slanted for DK. Yeah, well, what about an Awakening? Touch of Exploitation is not useful on DK. That's what I'm saying. It's like on a lot of the Awakening classes have this glorified SLMB, and it's just unusable. So, yeah, I don't know. On Kuno, I mean, I'm just imagining like all the little filler skills actually having AoE now. Like maybe when I Lunar Dash into a group and use the flow to Lunar Dash, it actually hits the entire pack instead of like, okay, cool, I did good. Because they buffed the damage a lot and it's actually significant now in PvE. But you only hit 3 or 4 mobs, so the rest of the pack doesn't really die because you didn't do any damage to it. And then, yeah, the SLMB is just no one's used it. No one's used it in a really long time. And then outside of like Spin and Wheel of Wrath, it just feels like you're not really hitting mobs. But dude, I like just on the animations alone, I cannot wait to see what they do with Awaken Kuno. Like I hope so much that they invest as much time on the animations that they're doing on Ranger and Warrior with the other classes, and none of them kind of get skimped out on, because those new animations look really fucking cool. That slashing animation, dude, it has me like, dude, you could do so much cool stuff if they're willing to like add those like little effects. I can't wait, dude.
So to be honest, I'm more so than Berserker. I'm more interested to see what they do with Archer,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one that I'm interested to see what they do with is the casters. Not
Yeah.
necessarily because I think, especially those latter two, Witch and Wizard, like they don't need help. It's not like they're bad classes, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do with those. Archer, I don't want to say Archer is bad. It's not bad. It's just that like every other class does his job better than him, unfortunately. And so I'm very excited to see post rework Archer. Uh I will most likely be tagging in that the second that rework hits, in all honesty, and be trying that shit out.
Yeah.
But man, what are they gonna do for casters? I'm so interested to see what they're gonna do for casters.
Me too. Me too. Like, I wonder what they're gonna say as far as this little breakdown. Like how this is saying that they're emphasizing PvE on Warrior. I would like, to me, I don't. Who knows if they'll do it? And I know not everyone will agree, but to me, it would be kind of cool if they say the main focus of Wizard and Witch though is 1v1. I think that would actually be really fascinating. If they're like, we know it's good in large scale, it's pretty comfortable in PvE, and we just want to make sure that it's a little bit better in 1v1 without making it like any different in the other aspects of the game. I think would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, obviously we don't play the classes. I've played him. You briefly had a stint on Wizard very, very long time ago. But I still maintain that split TP, man. I think split TP on all Witch and Wizard specs would go so far in their ability to 1v1. I don't think it would have that much of an effect on large scale. I think that they would probably, the really good Witches and Wizards would be able to make really good use out of it in large scale, but it's not like it would greatly increase their average like power. But in 1v1s, man, it would help them out so much to have split TP. So much.
You think they'll give
and
it just
I
to
don't know.
Wizard, not to Witch, though, just to be funny?
God, I hope so. Fuck Witches.
Witch
No,
already
I'm
has
kidding.
Witch already has block jump. One of my guildies, Leary Dustins, is in chat, and he was saying that he was fighting. I'm not gonna name names, but he was fighting someone, and they were complaining that Gore Roll is basically block jump because it goes behind your frontal car.
I mean, Gore Roll is busted as shit, but I don't
dude.
know about that. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be really, really interesting. Part of me hopes that this is where we'll see them actually remove some of the support skills from Witch and Wizard and just have it be
You're crazy.
DPS. I know that's like super unlikely and that's probably an unpopular opinion, but don't you think that would go a long way in making it to where every fucking Node War and Siege Guild doesn't have to be 60 to 70% caster? Like there would still be a lot of them, if not majority of them. You'd probably still see at least 50% Witch and Wizard. But it wouldn't be like 60, 70, 80% if they removed the fucking support
I would
skills.
love if they removed or reduced the effectiveness of the support skills. I'm just saying, you're on that good shit thinking that they're going to.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just interested to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Me too. There's a lot of classes. Like I'm like, what are they gonna do with Ninja? Because Ninja's already really good, right? I mean, you could obviously like Suck Ninja struggles a little bit in PvE. It's super sweaty and you're not making the same as like most classes. What are they gonna do? I'm also curious, like how are they gonna change any of the absolutes and how much are they gonna change them? Because they demoed Succession and they demoed Awakening, but are they gonna change any just normal pre-awaken skills, or are those gonna be remaining the same? Is it only gonna be Succession Awakening skills?
Yeah.
I'm also curious about like the damage. So obviously there's bigger AoE on like Waltz and bigger AoE on Wailing Wind, it looked like, but are they changing the PvP damage and the PvE damage, or just the PvE damage? What kind of changes are they gonna make as far as damage goes? I mean, we'll know for sure with Warrior in what, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. It's supposed to be on Global Labs. I don't know if Ranger's for sure coming to Global Labs too. Hopefully it is. That'd be kind of cool to just have them both. But yeah, I'm really curious like what the actual damage numbers are going to look like on these two classes. Also, if they're going to change any CCs around. Like if they're going to change something from a knockdown to a float or a knockback to something else, you know, I don't know. Who knows? There's some CCs that kind of suck. Like I still would love like if the core skill for Spin Spree was not a stiff, but either a stun or a float would completely change how powerful that core is. Yeah, I don't know. I also am curious because they only showed a couple skills. It's not like they showed the entire kit right there. I also am wondering if they're gonna have if every single skill is gonna have some sort of minor tweak, whether it's big or small, or if there's gonna be a bunch of skills that aren't touched because they feel like they're in a good spot. Because the fact that they even made new animations for like slashing and grave digging, which are like the two skills that every warrior's like, no, these skills are good, but what about our other skills, you know? But they actually like touch those too, so it's like, oh, like maybe they're gonna do every single skill in the kit is getting just something. Yeah,
Pretty exciting. There's a lot of potential. There is a lot of potential.
Yep. There is. Dude, it's exciting too. And I honestly think that first day when it comes to live server and everybody is getting this at the same time, like I don't know if you remember that day when we all got like rebombs and everyone was just sitting in battle arena. Like it's just gonna be like a whole. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be so fun. I can't wait. So yeah, that's a class reboot. A little bit more information, a little bit of a demo, so you could kind of see Warrior and Ranger. I wish they
maybe extrapolate on your own classes.
Yeah, extrapolate on your own class. Hopefully on when the patch actually comes out, if Ranger comes as well, they do a little bit of this like discussion on what they changed and why. We need that blue text because I want some context for the changes. You know, a little
100%.
bit.
Communication.
I also someone was bringing up the other day, DevAct was bringing up that if some of the skills that are unusable, if they become usable, will create some key conflicts that literally only don't exist right now because people don't use the skills.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like an example would be Abyssal Flame on Sork. Well, right now no one cares that the conflict that it conflicts with Grim Reaper's Judgment or Dark Flame. But if that skill becomes usable and people want to unlock it, now that key conflict is going to be kind of irritating. And hopefully they're aware of that and like improve the way skills work if they're going to make some of these unusable skills usable.
In all honesty, I doubt they are. Like just being blunt about it, I doubt they are. But hopefully, what they'll do is they'll hear players complain about it, and then they'll start immediately working on fixing it.
Yeah, that's what the feedback portion is going to be for. So hopefully people actually let them know if there's issues like that.
Yep.
Anyway, so just a thought. All right, so yeah, that's the reworks. They also went into this whole dev talk in here. They kind of they talked about barrier to entry for new players, improving silver profit and EXP gained in Valencia at like Desert Nagas and Desert Fogans, etc. Improving Tuvala. They mentioned about the potion. This one's huge for you.
Yep.
So the bullet point was
just me, no one else.
This was only
I'm the only one who cares about this.
The 50% potion weight patch seems to not be enough. Therefore, infinite potions will no longer be seen as a treasure, and players can create a smaller/weaker version of the potion using only one piece. As well, a pity system will be added so that you can collect pieces to exchange like the Orzeka costume. For players who already have the potions, we are preparing a special title and have plans to make the potion still feel special, such as an ancient item. So being as
controversial.
I don't think it's controversial. I think the people that are mad about it are selfish. I grinded out both pots myself, and I'm 100% okay with them making it easier to get, or at least having a pity system where people aren't stuck for 500 hours. Just because you did 500 hours doesn't mean that everyone should have to do 500 hours. Yes, it sucks, and they should have implemented this sooner, but I still think it doesn't change anything. Now, if they are going to try to make it a little bit more special, having the completed potion, giving me a title is not it. I don't want a fucking title. Just give me a couple gold bars. It'll be fun.
A couple, just give me like 500 billion silver maybe, and we'll call it even.
Get a couple bill. Get a couple bill and I'll be fine.
So yeah, this is obviously very huge. We've been having this discussion for I don't know, like a couple months now, probably, just kind of on and off every now and then it comes up. About the pity system, the pot grind, et cetera, et cetera. I find it interesting that they say that the reduced potion weight wasn't enough.
Well, I mean, people are saying, look at this person sent me an image of a trolley. Look at this. Hold on, I'm gonna post this.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Would it be fair to the people the trolley is already killed to divert it now?
Yeah.
True, dude. Let it kill this next group, man. Fuck. That's actually hilarious.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're pretty much all in agreement, although we have some minor disagreements over the specifics of it. But I think both me, you, and Nyashi all agree that pity parts to the potions is something that they should do.
How hard should it be?
I mean, that's the question, right? And I, not to go on a complete rant that I've already been on, but like it doesn't even have to be that low, man. It can be really high. It can be fucking 500 hours, which I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh no, don't make it like, listen, just by dint of having the pity system, you're helping so many players mental, like, honestly. But in terms of like what's the exact number that it should be for balance reasons, I have no idea. I think I saw Big and Shiny. I didn't actually read through the post. I just saw that he posted it. He posted some sort of graph talking about how long it should take on Reddit. I don't know if maybe you can pull that up and see if maybe he wrote a TLDR, because God knows his posts are always insanely long.
Who posted it?
Big and Shiny on Reddit. I think it was Big and Shiny. Pretty sure.
There's a post about how long it should take.
I think so, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
He calculated like the longest and shortest and the average times in which people have been getting the pot pieces and the infinite pots in general, like total time, and then like looked at how much the pity parts should be, like how much hours it should cost, something along those lines. I just skimmed through it. Like I said, I didn't read through it entirely, but it's really interesting. But I don't know if I had to just take a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
I would say maybe, I don't know, like maybe 300 hours, like for the whole pot. So
Yeah.
that would be what? That would be like,
That sounds about like what Big
100?
and Shiny's saying. So he's saying, I think, I can't remember the exact numbers. Let's see what this one says. It's like the average pot takes, he does it by kills. I think that the average pot, I don't know, according to the Discord, the average pot takes like 60 hours per piece or something like that, or 50 to 60 hours per piece. I don't know. But essentially he's saying that assuming it's a reasonable / well implemented system, it would take on average around twice as long to acquire the 100 semi-rare drops compared to getting the straight drop, like compared to the average person. So it really wouldn't help the people that get it in a reasonable time. It would just be benefit to the people that are super unlucky. Which is exactly what it should be. Also, I like the idea of like, well, I haven't grinded for the pot piece for a long time, but it's like I have 40 things, so when I do get back to it, I'm already like, I've progressed a bit. Like just that feeling of progression, I think is like important.
yes, yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm cool with that. It should probably take maybe a little bit longer to get this than what the average player gets, but I don't think it needs to be like crazy.
I agree
So.
that whatever the average time is to get the pot piece by regular drop, it should probably be lower than however long it takes to get it via pity system for sure.
Yeah, on average. So
I just don't know. I don't know what that time is, so I have no frame of reference for what that could be. But I mean, that just sounds like it should be the case.
and we really want to hear those stories about people that they have 97 of 100 pieces and then the pot straight drops for them.
Oh, then you get 2 of them, dude.
And you get 2 pieces. Is it better to wait for if you want the pot? I mean, you probably should just grind now. Because the thing is I do believe that they will add the pity system. I just have no idea how long it's going to take. It's not even on GLab, so that means it's not going to be here at least for the next month. We're not going to have it, but probably even longer. So yeah, I don't know. That's really up to you if you want the pot piece or not. So let's see. Yeah, that's the potion piece. I also do like that they added that into, that's under the section of like the barrier to entry under like helping newer players. Because I really do think the pot spots are like super good seasonal grind spots. Because you get rid of like there's like 3 birds. Like you get raw silver, you get a ton of time-filled stones for your Tuvala stuff, plus a chance to get an item that's just gonna like benefit you forever. Like the potion piece spots are really, really good, like Tuvala / seasonal grind spots.
I also find it interesting that they mentioned putting in a weaker version of it. I still am interested to see what that'll look like.
Yeah, me too. Because I don't even know how you would do that. I was trying to think about this.
I still think the best way to do it is what we said before, where it's just a certain amount of uses. That's the only way I could see them doing it, where it's like, you know, it's not an infinite pot, but it's a pot that's worth like 1,000 potions or something like that.
What if it's like just, you know how the infinite pot now weighs 50 LT? What if it's like, if you have 1 piece, it weighs 750 LT. If you have 2 pieces, it's 500, or it like reduces the weight. I don't know. I have no idea what they could do. To me, it doesn't make any sense having a weaker version. I feel like just the pity system is fine. I don't even think they need a weaker version.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the pity version is enough.
What if they're like, what if they are the small pots?
An infinite use medium pot.
Hey, what if that is what it is?
Oh no, don't do that.
It'd still be nice for
No.
PvE, especially with the resource pot.
Oh no.
Then you'd only need pots for PvP. I don't know. Yeah, if it's a higher cooldown, then you basically still just need pots. That's the problem. If it's the weaker version, it's like at least it benefits you in PvE. But if it's a higher cooldown, then you like, I don't know. I feel like higher cooldown's worse. Then you still actually just need pots. So you need like that and normal pots. Alright, so ocean content, they said, unfortunately, main focus is Node War and Siege, as well as character reboots. This means that any major ocean content is still delayed for now, but is planned afterwards. During the week, convenience patches will be added for bartering, sea monster hunting, and other ocean content. Roll Abyss asking players send a lot of feedback suggestions, assures that there will be a lot of patches for quality of life stuff. More character appearance stuff, more quality of life updates. The item drop increase scroll update on off requires more work. It'll be added in GLab as soon as it's done. I wonder what is the holdup with that. Because like this new system is so much more simple. I can't figure out why they're stuck on it. Because this system is literally just pausing with a cooldown.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird. I get why they delayed the Agris version of it, because the Agris version was like, that's really difficult to balance in every spot, because some classes are about to get a boost and some classes aren't. So it was like kind of a weird thing. But this one is like, I don't know, it's just a pause button. So it's kind of weird that it's like being delayed so long. All right, so that was kind of their open dev talk. Is also they talk about adding feedback forums. So that'll be interesting. Let's see. What else is on this? Let's just talk about the other little things. Oh, the ghillie suit change. They changed their mind on the weird rapid flares thing and went back to just, it's going to say unknown adventure. KR got it last week. I do believe we'll be getting it this week. They also made it so you can melt the costumes for crons, although the amount is kind of odd. So in KR, when they melt a costume, I forget exact. I believe they get blue. Last Blue told me like 3 months ago they get 420 cron stones for a premium outfit. So for the ghillie suit, they're getting 320 if you melt a ghillie suit. But yeah, so 320 cron stones. So if you have an old ghillie, or if you feel like, well, now this thing is useless, so you could just get your crons. Your thoughts on that? Do you think there's a good change, or should they have gone with the flares?
No, the flares didn't make any sense. They just needed to stick with this the whole time. I mean, you could do both theoretically, I guess, because there's still situations in which you want to use flares to like deck someone that flares are annoying to use. So like, sure, quick flare, but the idea that quick flare would be a way to solve the issue of not being able to see a player's nameplate because they have a ghillie suit on, like that was not even a feasible fix for that problem. So I don't know. You could do both, I suppose. Quick flares could solve that other issue, which would be cool, but not necessary. Not nearly as necessary as needing to see a nameplate, I would say. So yeah, good change. Please put it on live immediately.
Yeah, I think we'll get it. We should get it this week.
So I was doing my RBF daily the other day, and there were two. This was like prime time, right? So there were a bunch of RBFs going. There was like 2 or 3 RBFs in the Ghillie free RBF, but they were under 10 minutes, so I couldn't join. And then there was one RBF that was at like 10 minutes and 30 seconds, but it was in the regular RBF, like the Ghillie allowed RBF. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, I'm just trying to do my fucking daily, right, and move on with my life. So I get in there. I'm like, surely there's not going to be that many players wearing ghillies anyway. Bro, I swear to God, 50% of that RBF was wearing ghillies. I was like, holy shit, I do not miss this fucking place. That shit is so annoying. You have fucking Novas running around in ghillies. You can't see them until you're already fucking dead. You have ninjas hiding outside of your fucking spawn. It is fucking unbearable.
Yep. All right, so that's coming. Ackman History Portal is, if you've completed the quest line, they're gonna make it so you can tell what portal goes to where, basically by changing the animation.
Are the pillars still not showing up for everybody?
What pillars?
The pillars on the portals? It's been a problem for a while now. I've noticed a lot of people talking about it. I don't know if they fixed that or not. The pillars like aren't loading in for anybody, so apparently it's like insanely hard to find portals right now, because normally you would see the pillars way before you saw the orb.
People are saying they fixed it. It's back. They're back.
Okay, good.
God, I wish they made this change 2 years ago. Because the thing was, is like they did that quest, and at the time, Black Spirit or the claw pieces were like sitting on buy at min price, like thousands of them. And then they sold out, and it was like, well, now it's literally not worth to teleport into there, so I wasted my time doing that quest line, and I have to search for portals anyway.
Right.
So this is kind of cool that you'll be able to see and not have to go in, then escape, start over. You just run by. It'll still likely take a long time to find the right portal, but
nice QOL. Nice QOL.
Nice QOL. So this one, I didn't have time to like look into this. I'm confused by the defeat all 3,000 monsters thing, but they added like new quests for the daily. So you can actually have defeating like Ataraxian bosses as one of the dailies. So if you're going to go do Ataraxian anyway, you can get a reward. They added shurikens. Looks like, is this Cagdums? I think it's Cagdum, just translated weirdly. And then Shira Ruins, which is really cool for people that are grinding the pot. The 2 birds, 1 stone thing is really nice. But then this one is just defeat all 3,000 monsters. So like people are saying you can basically just kill any mob
3,000
as
winning
long as you
mob.
kill 3,000. Which I guess is awesome if you're going to just go grind. Like, if I could just go grind Secrea lower and kill 3,000 Secrea mobs, cool. That way I don't have to go do... But it's like, this is going to hit our server literally right when I'm done. Because this is on Global Labs now, right? So we're not going to get it this Wednesday. We're going to get it Wednesday the 8th, which is 2 days after you're done if you didn't miss a day. Which is sad.
Well, obviously they shouldn't implement it because you would have already finished by then, so that's not fair to you.
So it's not fair. Don't implement this. This is bullshit. No, implement it so these lazy people like Reslar can catch up, dude.
Yeah, true though?
Caliber says it'll hit right when I'm starting. Alright, alright, so Node War Siege changes. This is another one. I wish I had more time to look into this before today, so we're gonna learn all of this together right now. I have a very, very vague understanding of it, but my understanding could be wrong. So here we go.
Frosty, for anyone who doesn't know, Frosty is our research and development team. He's the one who's supposed to be in charge of knowing all of the things. Him being the White Knight, this was an obvious position for him to have, but
Yeah.
you know, he casts one tournament next to Armin IRL, and all of a sudden he's just too good for his day job. You know,
They usually
it's sad.
fax me a summary to help me understand what I'm looking at in these notes. I didn't receive my fax yet.
Oh, so it's Pearl Abyss's fault, is what you're saying? You're blaming
Yeah.
Pearl Abyss?
Well, I wasn't home to receive the fax.
Oh, okay. I see.
All right, so the concept of liberation in siege battles has been reorganized into a point system. If there are no guilds/alliances, and there are 2 or more guilds/alliances remaining until the end of Conquest War, the rank is determined according to the remaining durability of the command post/field command for each guild, the remaining annexes, and the total number of kills, deaths during the occupation battle. So they're now going to account for all things in the war. There's going to be like a point system, and that's going to go towards finding out who basically wins, I guess. Yeah, the guild/alliance with the highest ranking wins becomes the lord of the territory, except for the guild alliance. This is only in the instance of a stalemate. So like, organized stalemates arguably won't. I mean, they'll probably still be a thing sometimes, but it'll be a lot more difficult. It says, except for the guild alliance that achieved the highest rank among the remaining guilds alliances until the end of occupation war, the top 5 guilds/alliances and the remaining guilds federations receive higher rewards than existing defeat rewards. It can be obtained differentially. So the score that determines the ranking are as follows. So basically, you're going to get a point system, and it's going to tally up and keep track of your points throughout the entire siege, just your guild as a whole. Every kill your guild gets is going to receive 2 points. Every death you receive 1 point. For killing a command post/field command, you get 100 points per 1% remaining durability. I don't know exactly what that means. I guess like if you kill it from full health, when you get the kill, it'll tally up the amount that you actually did to it, so you get more points if you actually killed it from full. But if someone else was dealing damage to it, you'll get less points. I'm not sure how they'll keep track of that. Hopefully it's accurate. Oh, it's based on the current HP of your fort. 100 points per 1% remaining durability. Oh, I guess like your... Oh, okay. So your fort has points. Okay, so this is your fort, not for a kill. Okay, got you. Flimsy barricade, when you kill those, you get 10 points. Normal barricades, 10 or 20. Iron barricades, 40. Up and up and up. Basically, like, everything has a point value. Flame towers are 800. Watches are 800. Supply depots are 700. Ballista workshop, large siege tower factory, etc., etc. So they're all worth points. Everything that your guild does is going to matter. So if you just drop a stick on a territory, oh, this is for remaining items. Oh, okay. See, this is why we're learning together. This is why I'm sad that I didn't get a chance to read this beforehand. Okay. Scores for each remaining annex type. I got you. Okay, so the more shit that you have up, the more points you get. Got it. Not kills. So the only thing kills wise would be enemy kills and deaths. That's it. Okay, got it. This is points if you still have these buildings up. Okay. That actually makes a lot more sense. Anyway, so basically if you place a stick and you don't have anything built around it, or if you're defeated, you're gonna get a lot less points and be at the bottom of the ranking. Yeah. Anyway, and then they have like different rankings that shows like what you get. First place is still kind of the same rewards. Second place is going to actually get more than you were getting if you stalemated before. You'd get 700 mil and 36 medals. Third place is going to get 600 mil, 36 medals. Fourth place would be 500 mil, 36 medals. Fifth place, 400 mil, 36 medals. Sixth place, 300 mil, 36 medals. And then, let's see, until the end of the occupation war, guilds, federations with command post field commands still remaining would get 250 mil, I think, and 36 medals. And then if you're at the end of the war and you have no command post or command remaining, you'll get 150 mil and 10 medals. So essentially the TLDR of this system is we don't want 25 guilds placing because no one's going to kill them and everyone gets 500 mil. Like if you want to receive more, like a higher amount of the reward, you have to actually participate in the battle and keep your stuff alive. So your thoughts on this system?
Yeah, anything to curb that stupid shit that people are doing. I'm down for it. I don't know if this is gonna like perfectly solve it, because I feel like there's probably still some room for like abuse, maybe. But I don't know. Change is good, man. I've always been an advocate. Like, just give it to us, and then we'll tell you if it's enough, or if it's not enough, or if it's too much. But yeah, all the forced stalemating bullshit with 20 fucking guilds, I don't like it. It's really, you people are gross, and that's what I'm gonna say, so I don't insult anyone.
Yeah, someone's saying sticks will still be sticks. There will always still be sticks, but this does discourage it a little bit because you have to really think like if you're a GM for a guild that doesn't bring people to war or siege, and you're just placing, if you're only placing so your guild can get 150 mil and 10 medals, that 1 billion silver fort is, I don't know. You kind of have to win some wars, otherwise that's going to get real expensive real fast. I don't know. If especially like these smaller guilds that really only have like 30, 40 members, it's like, dude, are we really going to use 1 billion silver in guild funds so 27 people could get 100 mil? I don't know. It might not be worth it, but the thing that it's really trying to prevent more so than the stick placing is the people going and be like, hey, we don't really need to have a fight. Let's just do it for fun skirmish and then go home. This is going to make people be like, no. I want to perform the best because my guild's going to get way more shit, and I definitely don't want to die. So, yeah. People underestimate. Like we also like we win wars and we still have times where we like run out of money. Like we're like, oh shit, like we got to win some node wars this week because we don't have guild funds. So I don't know, if you don't win any wars ever, like 1 billion silver actually is a lot. But yeah, anyway, I like the idea that it actually encourages fighting and encourages your guild to want to do well and to not get killed. Yeah, you don't want to die in this new system. So yeah, I don't know, that's good. I think originally when this got talked about, they had like the blue text, you know, the giant wall of blue text a couple Global Lab patches ago, and a lot of people thought they were just removing the rewards for stalemates entirely, and people were like, dude, what the fuck, like, Siege is dead. And then, but this means everyone's still going to get rewards, so people are still going to want to place, and they're still going to be fighting. Siege, I missed Siege yesterday, unfortunately, but like, oh, let me see if I can read, let me see if I could read this without giving away too much. So this was from our GM yesterday. Thank you all for coming to Siege tonight. Hope you had as much fun as I did. Congratulations, top 15 who got Stormtrooper, and Azu who had the top 100 kills. Wild Siege tonight. Sieges like this are the reason we're doing Sieges at the moment. That shit was fun. So like that, we haven't got messages like that in like 2 years. no one has been hyped about Sieges at the end of Siege, so it's like kind of cool to see people actually hyped about Siege and having fun in Siege. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sad I didn't get to go yesterday, but oh well. I think that's it. I mean, that's it for like the recent changes. We could talk about the nerfs if you're ready.
Yeah. So kind of an older topic, but since we skipped a week, we're behind.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about the nerfs last week, and now they're officially on our server. The Sage and Nova nerfs. Although the Nova nerfs are a little bit different than what was on Global Labs.
Are they?
Yeah, let me make sure I have the numbers right before I say that, and then I'm actually wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's a little bit different. 19th, 12th. Here we go. Yes, so on Global Labs, the Nova nerf was going to be 100 stamina consumed whenever they use Twisted Orbit in both normal and Excel. But the one we got on live server, it only uses 50 stamina upon using the skill, but 100 stamina if the skill is on cooldown. So it's a little bit less harsh of a nerf on our actual live server for their mobility than it was on Global Labs.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, they got the stamina nerf. They also got their fuse gravity. They don't get their Star's Breath back as quickly, although I talked to a lot of them, and most of them still say it's super easy to get it back, especially when you come out of Excel. You still get extra Star's Breath for absorbing the Excel fuse gravity. Plus they have their other skill. I forget the key combo. But the new skill that was added when all the classes got skills that gives them 10% that they can spam. So it's not like that big a deal getting their Star's Breath up. But then the Sage nerfs hit. Bolt is now super armor. It does actually, then we got the cooler animation so it doesn't look goofy.
Yes, thank God. Holy shit.
And then the Lightning Prison Flow Interrogate. I wasn't at Siege yesterday. Did anyone notice, like, was it a difference, like, not being hit by Sages? Were they still able to hit you through walls with Lightning Prison? Did anyone test this out?
They fixed that a while ago, didn't they?
No. This was this patch.
I thought it was last patch.
Nope. It was this patch. I'm looking at the note from Wednesday. Yeah, so I don't know. Like overall, I like the change that they got. I was watching some Sages duel. I was like having some of my friends, I was dueling with them and watching them duel some other people, and it was like it didn't make that big of a difference. Like there's instances where now they still take some damage. Like if they're really low and they're trying to get away, they're still at risk. They might die while running. They get slow debuffed, which can change the fight a lot, especially like in Guardian versus Sage. And then in large scale, like they can't sit in the middle. They just can't anymore. They can't just sit in there like iframing around dealing damage. They're like getting whittled down really quickly if they're in there too long. But you've been playing Sage, so what are your experiences with it?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be that big of a change. It's pretty much exactly what you said. Like it's not that much of a difference aside from you can't just run around inside of balls anymore. Like Sork. Do Sork next. So it's I think it's a good nerf. I'm yet to see if it's enough. I definitely feel the Lightning Prison nerf, because even with like I changed the add-ons because people were like, well, you could still basically get the same damage by just changing your add-ons. No, you cannot. It definitely is doing less damage than it did previously. It still does good damage. I'm not saying it doesn't do damage, but it definitely does not burn as fast as it did previously, which is a good thing. My number one issue is with my shit internet. I keep getting CC'd out of Bolt constantly. I get knocked down out of it. I get bounded out of it 24/7. I don't know if there's like a small gap or something, or if it's just my internet being my internet. But goddamn, is it infuriating to be constantly getting CC'd out of this skill that is supposed to be SA. But aside from that, it's really not that big of a change. You have to play more on the outskirts than before. You can't run in the middle of the ball. You have to play If I had to liken it to another class, I would say maybe something like, I don't know, maybe like a Awakened DK, where you're kind of trying to sit on the outskirts and throw your shit in instead of going like straight to the center. So yeah.
Damn. Do you think people should roll off of it? Was it that bad that it's like, well, what's the next class?
Oh, I mean, your re-rollers are obviously going to do that. They're probably going to go to Nova, in all honesty. Because Nova is just free as fuck right now.
Dude, it's sad too, because like if you're a Nova and you saw this nerf, you're like, oh, like okay, cool. They nerfed us a little bit. That'll make a difference, but we're still gonna be pretty good. And then, but now they got to worry about all the sages that are coming over to Nova.
Yeah. So they're definitely gonna reroll. As for like the dedicated Sage people, I don't think that they're gonna. If you were playing Sage because you enjoy it, not because it's OP, I don't think there's any way you reroll off of it because of this. It's still gonna be really strong. You're gonna have to adjust your play style a little bit, but yeah, I think the people who are playing Sage because they genuinely enjoy it are going to continue playing it. All of the re-rollers are going to immediately jump ship to Nova or whatever else ends up being busted as shit.
Yeah. Whatever the reworks give us.
Whatever the
Dude,
reworks give us.
That's what we need. We need a pool. Like what class post reworks are going to be like the, oh my god, this class is insane now.
Ninja.
You think Ninja?
I would put money on it. I
Oh,
would
shit,
put
dude.
fucking money on it.
Ninja, huh? I wish it wasn't so far away. I'm never going to remember to check back. Let's see. What class will be most busted post reworks? Reslar says Ninja. I'm going to say...
You're gonna have to ask Nyashi in the here. I'll message him.
I'm going to say... It's going to be a ranged class. Maybe... I don't know, dude. What about Tamer? I feel like Tamer getting AoE buffs is actually so scary. Even though I know they need them, but it's like... Oh my god, that class is about to be so scary. Dude, Tamer is about to be just a completely different... Oh my god. I don't even know. Dude, oh yeah, that's the other thing. Like, Strikers and Mystics are getting reworked. My vote is on Striker. Yeah.
Alright. Nyashi's typing in the chat right now, so let's see what he has to say.
Yeah, I'm voting Striker.
I bet you he says, yeah. I knew he was gonna say Warrior.
Well, he said Warrior's
Oh,
too easy to make busted. One wrong update to a skill and it's over the top. And then he said, that being said...
And now we're waiting on
Waiting.
further deliberation.
All right.
I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Please say Musa. It'd be so funny. Please say Musa. Please say Musa, Nashi. Please say Musa. He said not fucking it's Warrior.
I was gonna, dude. With how much he fucking hates Warriors, bro. I knew he was gonna say that shit, man. I knew it.
All right.
That man hates Warriors.
I'm pinning this message to myself, so I have it as a reference. Dude, Sork is gonna be scary too after reworks if they get any better. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna give Sork a grab.
They're gonna give Sork Corsair a grab. One small thing: Ocean's Allure, which is the spacebar skill on Corsair. They actually changed the attack range to match the skill effect, so now it does damage in PvE, which actually helped their PvE a lot. Not saying it's like super good or high on PvE now, but it definitely is not Kuno level. It's like it's actually like better than Kuno now, so feels kind of nice.
Also, that anchor does way too much damage.
Oh, God.
Holy
Here we
shit.
go. Yeah, it
Bro,
hits
that
really,
anchor collapsed, dude.
yeah, it's really good against Black Star Armor, especially.
Dude, you're gonna look me in my dumb fucking face
It
and
does
tell me
good
that
no,
anchor does not collapse.
it does good damage for sure.
That skill is seismic but ranged.
You gotta just stand with your buddies, so that way it has split damage. Because split damage makes all skills useless. I've been told that forever.
How are you?
Everyone's really
feeling?
upset with what you're saying right now. What?
I'm sure they are. How are you feeling on Awakened Corsair
Hold on, I have
now
to,
that
I have to
you've
mute
had it
you.
for a while?
I have to mute you for the rest of the podcast. I mean, dude, I think it's really good. I think in like some matchups for 1v1 it struggles hard, but I think it's pretty good in large scale, and it's interesting. It's like the first class I've seen released that the Awakening version, not Suck, the Awakening version. I'm just talking about Awakening right now, where it's been nerfed every week, not buffed, which is kind of interesting for PvP anyway. It's also I don't know though. I think it feels pretty good. Like, I don't think they could change too much on it right now without making it either too weak or too strong. So, Succession's though a whole nother story. I know a lot of people are frustrated with Suck because it's just like, you know, iframe for so long
Right.
in like big fights. Suck Corsair's like actually kind of cracked. So
Yeah, man. When Corsairs want to leave, man, you cannot stop them.
yeah, that bomb's kind of nuts, dude.
It is very difficult to stop a Corsair from walking away or swimming away from you, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically like in Node War. The thing is like in Node War, you just kind of rotate your whale skills, then disengage, wait, rotate your whale skills, disengage, wait, and it's like as long as you're fighting with people, it's pretty good. Like against like lower end guilds or guilds that are a lot more unaware, like they actually just let Corsairs solo dive them and kill their entire guild sometimes. But against like really good guilds, you have to fight with your team or you just get blown up. But it's like it's really strong. I don't know. It's super strong. It's like a legitimate like frontline class right now. Because it kind of has everything that you talk about, right? It has protected engage, protected damage, iframes like in between the damage, so it can like, you know, mitigate some of the damage and slows and debuffs that it's gonna get, and then a super protected disengage to get right back out. It has like everything you need for a melee class to like go in, deal damage, get out.
And a grab. Don't forget that. Most important part.
No, Suck doesn't have a grab. Suck.
Oh, Suck. Sorry. Yeah.
This
Suck.
suck.
Sorry.
No, Awakening is a little bit. Awakening. The thing is with Awakening is, it's a lot easier to CC Awakening, and the pre-awakened skills don't flow together nearly as well, and the cooldowns on all of them are a lot longer.
But Awakening is like 10 times better.
I don't agree. I actually.
Well, it has a grab, so it's just
right,
like immediately.
True.
It's way better.
True.
It's at least 100, if not 1,000 times better than Suck because it has a grab. So it's a free win class.
That is true. Actually, dude, when you do land that grab, there's something special about it, dude. Like people are just, they feel bad. They feel ashamed. They start playing worse after that.
Dude, I've noticed recently, I don't know how I've never noticed this kid before, but there's some Musa that I see often in RBF. Every time he gets grabbed, he starts spamming this quick chat that says, "Nice grab, very skillful."
Yeah.
I love grabbing that man. That shit is so fucking funny. I just see the rage. It's so amazing. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's a good example of just because you have grab doesn't mean it's a free win. But of course, we don't want to talk about that. So.
Well, you have 4 grabs.
I do have 4 grabs. And guess what? Guess what I just learned earlier today. Speaking of grabs that need to be fucking nerfed, guess what I just learned earlier today?
What?
Lawn grab has a lower cooldown than my shortest grab, my lowest cooldown grab.
Yeah, long
What
grab
the fuck?
cooldown's not very long.
Dude!
The cooldown is shorter than the range. For sure.
What the hell, bro? Why? Why is that class? Hello? That shit's wild, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. Dude, that would be so cool if the rework did nerf all the grab cooldowns, honestly.
That would be
God.
neat. I doubt that happens though, but
Doubt it too.
I
but
mean,
God, please, please, please.
we've been in agreement for a long time that grab cooldowns need to go up. Of course, there's probably a lot of other changes that need to be made if you do that, but I think it would be healthy for the game. I think both me, you, and Nyashi have been saying for a while now that the cooldowns need to go up on grabs in general.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's mostly it. Did you watch the tournament yesterday?
So I watched the beginning of it. I did have to check out at a certain point. Whenever I messaged you in the group chat, that's when I stopped watching because I was going over to a friend's place for the night. But yeah, I watched the beginning of it, and man, you're doing good out there. You're looking good. You're looking snazzy.
Thank you. What did you think of the actual competition? What did you think of the? Which matches did you see?
So I started tuning in at the beginning of the ha 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 fights, because I just kept laughing to myself that Armin wouldn't just call them Team Haha, which would be a lot easier. He was really committing to like the 5 ha-has every time he said it.
Yeah.
And then I stopped watching. When did I stop watching? I don't remember. I think I stopped watching in Hunter's fights. I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the fights are cool. I like the setup of having it be in sets. That was really cool. I don't believe they've ever done that before. Someone feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I really like that part of it. Yeah, good fights, good PvP all around. Hello?
Yeah.
Frosty?
No, I'm thinking about people are upset with this.
Frosty?
Oh,
Did
am I
Frosty
muted?
die on me?
Oh, whoops! I muted myself too.
What?
By accident. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I really enjoyed the format. I thought it was super fun. I liked the band pick thing just to see like because it added strategy to the team that I thought was super fun to watch, and it makes it so you get to like see the different matchups. I don't know. I thought it was actually really cool. Seeing the different matchups was kind of fun. Seeing how different people play against different people, and then also getting that being able to watch the 1v1s also was kind of cool because you get like a chance for one person to be a hero, you know?
Right.
But in that last match, for those people who didn't see it, it goes down to the 1v1s. It's Team Hahaha versus Murdios. And Divios goes up first in the 1v1s, and he beats Quicksore pretty handily. Like, he kind of beats him, like, really fast. And then him and Flannels have, like, an epic fight, and Flannels beats him. And then now it's like, okay, crap. You have Mac, and then Vert is last. So Mac comes up next, and it's like, well, Mac against Flannels, technically favored for Sork, but the thing is Flannels is Flannels, so he's insane.
Flannels,
and
that's
I'm
exactly
like,
what I was gonna say.
oh
Flannels
my god!
is...
And their first match is so epic and like just like skilled and like no mistakes that it actually like times out and they have a draw and have to fight again. Like that's how like insane it was. And then in the next fight, Mac wins it, I think by HP on the timer. I think he deals damage at the end. He actually lands a CC on Mac. And he tries to kill him with just the KD so Mac can't V by using Wailing Wind. And Mac gets up with like fucking like no HP left. And then he still has a little bit of time left on his E buff, so he starts just throwing damage, chips Flannels down, and then like the clock like drops and it's like literally like a 1% HP difference. So Mac wins. And then Mac's against Suck Nova and it's Reezy, and Reezy is just an insane player to begin with, and like you know how Sork is in that matchup. Like that's a rough one for Sork because you have they don't really have a fully protected combo that's going to deal enough damage to Nova. Plus Nova
Right.
can just sit and block. Plus the whole time they're going for CC attempts, the pawns are just after you. It was crazy. So Mac is sitting there chipping him down. They actually both CC'd each other a couple times during the fight. I can't remember if they both V'd off the top of my head, but it was just like it comes down to the wire. They're both like at they both like do damage to each other, and Reezy's at like 40% health or whatever, and I think they both cap back to 50%, but Reezy is using, I don't think he realized, I mean, maybe he realized, maybe he didn't, I don't know, I'd have to ask him, but he's using the gargoyle skills, and it seemed like not realizing that they do damage to yourself. So that was the difference. So Mac won on the clock because the gargoyles hurt Reezy and lowered his percent.
Maybe he was just banking on him getting some damage out that would, like,
Yeah,
he would
he
do more
tried-
damage than he would take from the skills, sort of thing.
So I had saying that Reezy said in the Discord that he had a bleed on him, and then Mac went into double nightmare, so he had to cast something to try to do some damage when he came out of nightmare. Plus, but it was just like, it was down to wire. It was so close. It was like actually epic, and then Mac ended up winning it. But dude, did you see the prizes? They each got a fucking Alienware laptop on that
I
team.
did not see the prizes. I didn't get to
Dude.
watch the finals, so.
Yeah, they each got an Alienware laptop, like 10,000 pearls. It was like actually kind of a nutty prize pool.
Oh yeah, man.
Anyway, overall, the tournament was fun. I really liked the format a lot. I hope that they do that format again in the future, just on Trial Gear and not Tuvala, because I don't know, Tuvala, it's another instance for me where it feels like it's a lot more limited on the people signed up because of how many people like are just not going to participate in seasons at all. Like there's just so many people that are like, well, I already graduated, or I'm not going to sit there and play like my class and grind it up again, like all that stuff. So I think
Right.
trials just opens the door to let way more people participate. So hopefully in the future they do a trial only 3v3. But for me personally, like that format was really fun because you get to see, even though it's like just one matchup, like one 3v3, you get to see so many different variations of the matchup. And they're all like best of 3. So it was like the first 3 sets were 2v2, best of 3 with band picks. And then the 4th set was King of the Hill, basically. And then the last set is just a standard 3v3. So it was incredibly fun, dude. I don't know. I liked watching it a lot. Anyway, that tournament was awesome. It was super cool they did it. It was really fun commentating with Armin. He's a professional, so that was really cool. And yeah, the Pearl Abyss people are the employees there are very, very kind. The CMs and GMs are awesome. I also didn't realize that the entire team is in the office. So the office is like pretty huge, but they have like the mobile team is there, the NA mobile team, the NA console team, everything. So it was like kind of weird
really?
walking in and seeing like some of these people from the console streams that I've seen before. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know they were all in here. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I didn't either. It's also like a super nerd like paradise. You know, they have like a nice kitchen. They have like a little like gaming arcade section with like a Nintendo Switch set up on a TV. And then it's just like computers everywhere, you know, like they all are like gaming computers. Normally you walk through like an office with like cubicles and you just see like a fucking CRT monitors still. You know?
Yeah.
But this is just like all flat screen monitors with like gaming rigs with fucking LED lights and shit. It was kind of nuts. It was pretty cool. But yeah, everyone was very nice, very accommodating. I liked it. And dude, like one thing people might not, I know a lot of people think that the GMs and CMs don't actually play BDO or care about BDO, but it's really funny to sit next to some people like just eavesdropping, and like when they're on break or they're eating lunch, they're literally just talking about BDO shit. And like, oh, what class they play, or they ran into this, what happened in their game. It's like they're literally sitting there nerding out about BDO shit as if they didn't work for Pearl Abyss.
Right.
It was actually like kind of cool to see. Now for me personally, I don't know how the console people enjoy the game, but the others legitimately sounded like they actually played the game.
They still enjoy it, just at a inferior frame rate.
Yeah. Anyway, it was pretty cool. So that was a really fun experience. I hope I get to do something again with them in the future, because that was actually really awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. GM Frosty win, man.
No. Dude, they did say that they would be down to hear some of my feedback. They said if we had more time, we'd love to like get some of your feedback on some random things. And I was like, dude, I'm down. Ask me anything.
Yeah. Listen to this podcast.
I'll teach you how to buff Kuno. Dude, that was the other thing, is one random GM was like, oh, hey, man, like I listen to the podcast every week. And like, if I
really?
said, dude, this was the other weird thing too, right? Because like none of the, like I don't know any of the people. I'm meeting them all for the first time. And then on top of that, like, I don't know what they know about me either. Like, I have no idea what, like, context they have about me or who I am. But it was funny, like, I was randomly talking to Armin about casting and how, like, you cast too. And then, like, just a random, like, other CM was like, oh, yeah, no, like, Reslar's really good too. I think he's, like, a good caster. I'm like, that's so funny that you know Reslar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just so weird. It was like such a weird experience. And then when I met like the CEO of the NA office, their CEO, he's like this older Asian dude, super professional and super kind, but like having this, like, he was like, hey, so Frosty, like, it's so nice to meet you. Like, I'm so glad you're here. It's really cool that you're here. And I was like, it was just such a surreal, like, weird experience, you know?
Right.
I was like, dude, I don't even know. I can't believe you even know me. But I'm super glad to be here too.
Yeah, so how was the actual and like I don't know if maybe they have you under NDA for any of the shit you saw or whatever, but like how was like the studio and stuff? Like you had a big room that you and Armin sat behind, or was it all fake?
No,
Like it
so
apparently was last time, or like how'd they do it?
They did it at a completely different place last time.
Okay.
This time they actually changed. What they said was a storage closet, but it was a pretty big, like, room that they soundproofed and put up those wood panels. Like everything you saw on that screen.
I like the idea that you casted this tournament in a storage
And
closet.
it was in a broom closet. Yeah, we casted the tournament in a broom closet, but
oh no,
everything you saw in the cast was like an actual room. There was no CGI for this at all. So
that's cool.
Bringing up an image, like all of that, they actually like built it. They built like the wood panel wall. Oh, file size is too large. Come on, dude. Why? Discord, please. All right. Anyway, I have it up on stream. I don't know why it's not letting me share it with you. Oh, here, let me do like a Imgur link. Nope, that file size is too large there too. Okay. Anyway, everything there was new. Or I mean, not new, but everything there was real. Like, so this is what it looked like. You didn't get to see like above the lights and stuff, but what you saw there is like, and there was like actual like cameras or whatever were facing. These were like the cameras were in front of us, and that part was hard. Like I was like, dude, I have good vision with my glasses on, but the TV still felt a little bit too far, where I'm like, dude, I like can't, because I was on the right and Armin was on the left, and the TV that we were watching everything on was the one on the left, so it was kind of far from where I was, and I was like, dude, I can't see everything. Like,
is that why you kept asking if Quicksor would Q buff every
like,
single
did he Q
round?
buff? I can't see the buff bar, man. Yeah, I'm like, dude, did he even Q buff? I know, people got so mad at me about that. It's like, dude, you're gonna miss some things. It's chaotic, man. Jesus.
Yeah, so were you watching, so you were basically just watching the same point of view as what like we as the audience were seeing
stream.
on
What
that
you guys
TV.
saw, I also saw. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you weren't like running around in the arena on your own character, like getting a different angle on things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm like such a I was like, dude, I need to make sure. Like, it sucked that Armin was clipping. I think they didn't have compression or something. So Armin, because you know his range, he's like, he starts off like when we're talking and analyzing stuff. Yeah, he's like normal volume, and then like when he gets hyped, he's screaming. So they had that compression.
Dude, it happened, dude. It is a very easy problem to have as
Yeah.
a play-by-play. I also have that problem a lot of times. You just get really fucking hyped when shit goes down, and then everyone gets mad at you because you're being loud.
Yeah. But overall, the energy, it was fun, man. It was like actually super fun.
Hell yeah.
Um,
So
I had a lot
how
of
far
fun.
away was it from where you live?
So technically, distance-wise, it's not that bad. It took me. It would take like an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes to get there with no traffic. But we
Okay.
went there for Friday to kind of discuss and meet and have food, and then like rehearse a little bit and explain like how it's gonna go and the order of stuff and all that, right? But
Mhm.
because it was Friday, and I was like, well, because they offered like, oh, you could stay in a hotel, and I'm like, yeah, but I live like pretty close. Like it's super weird to stay here when I'm like, my home's right there, you know?
Right.
But that drive home was during fucking rush hour. It took me 2 hours and 45 minutes to get home Friday night.
Oh, rough.
But yesterday, because it was Saturday, there was not as much traffic, so it took like an hour and 30 minutes or something. So it wasn't
Right, pretty
it wasn't
quick.
bad. And then in the morning, both days to get there like was pretty quick too. It was like an hour 15.
Well, that's nice.
So yeah, it was like pretty close. Yeah, but it's in a cool area. It's in and like the weather there is like cool because they're like somewhat near the coast, so it was like a lot cooler than where I live. And
Mhm.
I don't know, like overall it was just cool. Very, very cool place, very accommodating. It was like also awkward. Like so when I met Delph, GM Delph, it was like I'm like, hey, like it was my first time walking up, like he's standing next to Armin, and I'm like, hey, and they're like, he was like, that's so weird. Like I've heard that voice. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I know, it's like actually kind of weird. And Delph sounds to me, he sounds like you know Noah from Clash. Like his voice sounds like Noah
Yeah.
so much to me. So it's like weird hearing him talk in person and in like anytime we do like voice chat or whatever, because he sounds like Noah so much.
That's funny.
Anyway, so yeah, that was the I don't know what else to say about it, but it was super fun, cool place.
Well, we gotta talk about how your and technically it's not really, but basically your face reveal was on a live stream of the actual official game account casting in a officially sponsored tournament, dude.
Uh-huh.
Still don't have a camera for your stream though.
I just don't have a camera. Just don't have one.
How how was that? Were you nervous at all? Anything like that? Being on camera IRL?
I
wise?
wasn't nervous at all about being on camera. I was more like I actually wasn't nervous really at all, and just randomly like midway through I like started getting nervous, and I don't even know why. I couldn't really explain it. But I wasn't really nervous about the camera at all, and I wasn't really nervous. I was more nervous about like the transitions between parts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But and I was also nervous because we were supposed to have the way it was scheduled. We were gonna do semifinals 1, 5-minute break, semifinals 2, 5-minute break, third, fourth place match, 20-minute break. But instead, we did semifinals 1, no break, semifinals 2, no break, semifinals 3, 10-minute break, and I was like, uh-oh, what's happening?
Right.
We need some breaks. But the players are like ready quick, dude. That's the one thing about this tournament from the beginning to the end. Like, dude, they like just went through. It felt like way less waiting than in the other tournaments, which I think is both good for the players and the viewers. Like, just not having to sit there and wait forever, I think makes a big difference in the quality of a tournament. The amount of
Right.
downtime in the best in class tournament was like kind of crazy.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of it. So it definitely seemed like it was moving a lot faster this time. I think that's just they're getting better, because the more they do it, the more they are going to realize what they need to do, how to shorten this thing up, how to make this a little bit like quicker. So, put a person here, put a person there, have a person do this, et cetera, et cetera. They'll get better as they go on, which I mean, I think
Yeah.
we said that after the very first tournament, like, hey, give them some slack, they'll get better as they go, and they definitely are.
Yeah. Someone's saying, what about when you got left alone because Armin had to go? So Armin tried to power through because they offered us like a break between the second semifinal and the third, fourth place match. But then he had to, I think, actually for me, I can't remember which one it was. Like if it was during the finals or I think it was during the finals. But yeah, he basically just had to pee. He was like chugging water because of his voice, and then he had to pee really bad.
Right.
So he got up, and I had to like man the fort for a bit. But here's
Oh
some.
boy, you had to play by play?
No, not play by play. It was between
Oh,
rounds, so
okay.
I had to kill time. But here's
I thought you were saying you had to play by play. I was
No,
like,
no,
dude,
no, no.
Frosty play by play is
But I can't fault him for that because in the very beginning, I also left. For anyone who saw like the very first round, I also left for like one and a half of the matches, and that was the most nervous that I was through the whole tournament because we get through the first 2v2s, and then in the second 2v2, this is super inside baseball. I'm sitting there and I'm like, uh-oh. I have to take an emergency shit so badly. Like, I'm not even kidding you. That is why I left. I had the worst emergency shit. My body completely disrespected me and completely betrayed me. In that moment, I was like, I'm sitting there during the 2v2 part, and I'm like, all right, this isn't that bad. I'll just wait. We're going to get a 10-minute break after this series anyway. And then all of a sudden, it was like, oh, no, this shit's coming now. Like, I got to get the fuck up now, or Armin is going to hate working with me forever and ever and ever. I was like, God fucking damn it, dude. And you know what's so crazy is so we started the cast at like 1 p.m. I took a shit before I left my house. So I was like, oh, I literally said to Miss Frosty, so glad I got that out of the way. That would suck to have to go during the cast. And we just laughed about it like it's nothing. I have to stop at Target for something before I get to the cast. So plenty of time to shit there. I get there. We're like sitting around waiting for lunch. Don't have to shit there. Feel totally fine. And then we start the cast. First match, feel totally fine. Second match, I'm like, uh-oh, what's happening? My stomach is like, yeah, I could just feel shit moving around in there. It was awful. So I get out. It was so funny. I get out. We start the cast. So I wait until we get into the match. So that way I'm not like on camera when I get up. I wait till we get into the match. I tap Armin. I'm like, so sorry. I'll be right back. I walk outside of the studio to where the producer is. And I was like, he has this look on his face like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, he was like, why are you up? He looked so sad and concerned. Like the whole show was ruined. Like he looked so disappointed. And I felt so bad. I was like, and I didn't even want to sugarcoat it because I just wanted you need like a key to the restroom. I was like, I'm sorry. It's an absolute emergency. I need a bathroom key now. Like now. And like, so they give me the key and I like run to the bathroom and it was just fucking like, just explodes out of me like a shotgun, dude. Just boom, just all of it at once. I was like, oh my God, this is the worst fucking time ever. I cannot believe this is happening to me. And then I run back. I waited until he started doing play-by-play for like the next match and then go and sit down. But that was like, even though that moment sucked and I hated that I had to get up, after it, when I sat down, there was this relief like, that's over. Like, this is going to be good now. Here we go.
No.
So there you go. That's the case of the missing Frosty in the first series. I had
So, all that to say, Armin was justified in having to go pee.
All Armin had to do was pee because he drank too much water. His body didn't absolutely disrespect him like mine did, okay? Yeah. It was rough. You guys are welcome for the play-by-play. Listen, I'm only human. It probably was like the shit didn't make any sense. Like when it came and when I had to go and like I had been eating like pretty healthy for the whole like 7 days. I wasn't eating any like junk food. Like the whole 7 days leading up to it. So it made no sense that I had like an emergency shit like that. So I guess it just was nerves that I didn't even realize were there because I didn't even feel nervous. That's the thing that's so weird. Like going into it, like I remember like one of the Sams asked me like, oh, are you nervous? I was like, actually, like I'm not. Like I don't even feel like a little bit nervous. I'm like excited
Your
And
body was.
yeah, but my body was like, oh, nah, motherfucker, you're nervous. You're real fucking nervous. I was like, am I? I was like, shit, I guess I am. It's like, no, let me show you just how nervous you are, motherfucker.
Someone asks you, are you nervous? You're like, no, not really. Surprisingly, your body's like, you should be.
Yeah. You may not be nervous about casting, but you're going to be nervous about shitting on TV. So it was just, my body betrayed me. I was so mad at myself, dude.
Shit.
I don't think it was food poison. No, it couldn't have been food poisoning because I didn't feel any like illness or sickness or anything. It was just like a quick, like 1 minute before I had to go, I was like, oh my God, I got to go. And then after I went, I was like, nothing. It was like totally fine the rest of the day. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was crazy. You like my hair? Thanks, dude.
Yeah, dude, I like the hairdo, man.
Been growing it out my whole life.
You just committed, eh?
Yeah, I just shave it down. That's it, you know?
Honestly, I started doing the same thing recently. I don't have it like that low, but I just take some fucking clippers, put a guard on it, and just run it over because I'm tired of paying like $20 every single like fucking month for someone to make my hair look barely better than what I can do.
Wait, so you cut it yourself?
Yeah, I just buzz that shit.
Dude, where do you buzz? Because like I feel like buzzing your hair is like such a annoying task because I don't have like a place to buzz it where it's like not gonna just make a mess.
Yeah, I just do it in the bathroom and then vacuum afterwards. I put a like a little Walmart bag in the sink and try and make it fall in there, but obviously it's not all going to because you're buzzing your whole goddamn head.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. It's
Maybe
just,
I'll have
you
Miss Frosty stand behind me with a vacuum cleaner and she'll catch it as it falls off my head.
Dude, I used to go to a barber a long time ago who literally had their clippers had a vacuum attached to it.
Oh my
So
God.
as they cut your hair, it would get sucked into the vacuum.
Yeah, the reason why it's borderline still, even though you guys are right, like everyone's saying it, haircuts are expensive because especially if you're keeping it short, it's like you have to go back so often.
Yes.
Just the amount of cleanup and and it's also like, dude, I don't think it's, maybe I just am not practiced enough, but it's hard to hit every part of your head.
Oh no, definitely. I had my dad take a look afterwards and be like, "Hey, can you just check to make sure I didn't fucking miss anything?" And yeah, I missed a little bit.
He's
like here
nah,
and there.
He's like, nah, Reslar, you still have a Nike swoosh on the back of your head.
So, see, but I wear a hat like 24/7 basically anyways. So, that's another reason why I decided to stop paying money for it is cuz I don't give a shit what my hair looks like cuz I wear a hat everywhere. So,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, that's it's good luck for you, man. You rock it. You look good.
Divio assistant chat said, yeah, it's same for me. His body just wants to go. Dude, you got, man, that tournament, I loved those two teams. I wish it went all the way down to the last 3v3 in the finals, but like at least we got to see the 1v1s and just the amount of skill across like the players in that finals is actually nuts, dude. I don't know. It was crazy. It was super fun to watch, man. I thought Murdios was screwed in the 1v1s, Divios, when you went down, because I was just like, I don't know how a Sork takes out a Nova, and I don't know how, like, I know it's possible for a Lon, but I still think it's incredibly fucking difficult. I still think, like, even though it's like Lon, yeah, you have the grab and everyone thinks you could just grab, but it's like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Oh yeah, dude, but Durham kept playing. Yeah, Durham kept playing aggressive. Yeah, he's saying like Sork, a passive Sork could be anyone with the HOA HP rules, but Durham was like not. I don't know. He didn't like look like he was playing for time very like too often. Yeah, dude, people are so weird, man. Like the whole community is like half the community is like Sork is trash, can't do anything, useless class, and then the other half's like, dude, this class is so busted. What are we gonna do?
It's a very balanced class that can literally just not be hit if it doesn't want to.
Yeah, and the V thing, dude, the V thing. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like the monster like lurking behind these tournaments. I really wish they would fix that. I hate that, honestly.
Yeah. It's actually crazy.
Yeah. Hopefully, maybe if we give them some feedback and tell them like, hey, the V thing, could you please fix it? You know, they'll
Dude,
fix it
I
before they do
know,
another tournament.
at least as far as NA feedback, like I know Armin brings it up a lot. He hates the V sniffing. I think a lot of the GMs and CMs, so it's like literally just up to KR to implement a change of some sort, because like it's like definitely well known there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely well known,
Well,
and I don't know why it hasn't been addressed, but it definitely like takes a lot of. I mean, that second chance is what's exciting. Like
I
that
mean,
second chance is exciting to
yeah.
watch.
For
And-
sure. And it's important. I think it's important that if you fuck up one time, you get one like save essentially where you could try to make a comeback, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's super important for competitive for something that's competitive. But it might just be a thing of like there's not a lot of people like pressuring them or like talking about it because so first of all you have the percentage of people who PvP in this game, which isn't everyone. I think it's a lot of people, but it's not everyone. Then you have the percentage of people that care about something like that deep into the balance talks, which is an even smaller portion of the people who PvP. Then you have the group of people that care that much about balance that they would care about something like that, and specifically in regards to the tournaments, which is an even smaller percentage of people. So I don't know. I think it's probably just a thing where it's like not a lot of people talking about it. So it may have been brought up to them as like a hey, this is something that needs to be fixed, but then they go and look at what people are saying and it's not that they're talking about, you know? I don't know.
Yeah. I hate the V sniffing, but I hate the timer more. I don't mind the matches that much being decided by timer. I mean, it does suck sometimes with like kind of what Divius mentioned, how a Sork could kind of cheese it a little bit, but for the most part, the timer, I don't know, dude. I actually liked the arena closing in. I know not everyone did, but I actually thought the arena closing in added this crazy like gauntlet style. You have to just murder each other. I really liked that.
Yeah, the arena closing in, I think it's not which I know this is like I know this is so like counterintuitive, but I don't think it's balanced. I think it's pretty imbalanced towards specific classes, but man is it fun. Like it's just fun, man. It's a cool thing that happens, and like I know some classes get fucked out of it, and that sucks. But like,
Yeah, but
it
they don't
makes things
start in this
interesting.
small
It makes
circle.
things fun.
So you can play differently until the small circle is the thing. Like even if you have an advantage in the circle of your class, like you still have the other 2.5 minutes of your fight.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think at a certain point, like it sucks for certain classes that feel like they might get fucked by making the circle smaller, but man, is it fun to watch. It's fun to see those fights happen when it gets down to that point. It's exciting. It's like it fucking makes your heart race whenever shit goes down like that. You see people constantly like going in and out of it accidentally. They V out into the gas and then have to try to come back in. Like all the shit that goes down with it. It's just fun, man. It's just fun. Even if it does kind of fuck some classes, admittedly. But I mean, like you said, they had plenty of time to make a play before that point. So I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, overall the tournament was cool. That one felt, I don't know from the players' perspective, but at least as far as organization from the outside perspective, it felt a lot smoother than previous tournaments. Getting people in and out and getting people ready, a lot less downtime, a lot less waiting. The schedule seemed a little bit more clear. It was cool. You could tell they learned some stuff. I just hope the I hope there's not as many arbitrary rules. Like you have to be in Tuvala gear. I just make some trial tournaments or something. I don't know. And then when they did the last trial tournament or the full gear, you had the 100 days thing, which kind of put a huge damper on it.
Yeah, fucked
too.
a lot of things up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, damn it, dude. We're like now 0 for 3 on tournaments because the full gear best in class, the trial best in class, and then the Tuvala Cup, where just a large portion of the community just can't participate or don't participate because of it's Tuvala and everyone graduated, or they don't want to make their same class and go grind out gear for the tournament or whatever, you know? I don't know. Yeah. So, should we move on to the comments?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
you
wrap
mind,
it up. Let's go to the comments.
You mind reading them? I'll have them pulled up, but
Yeah, I can do that.
all right.
I was just kind of skimming through them to see if I needed to delete anything. So far, it doesn't seem like I do, but I haven't gotten to the bottom yet. For anyone who doesn't know, we read the comments every single week of the previous episode. So if you have something that you want to talk to us about, you want to argue with us about, you want to raise a point, please bring it up. Put it in the comments, post in the comments, and we'll read it and respond to it. And yeah. So first and foremost, we have Bloodwolf. He says Sage/Nova nerf, click and like. Yeah, I think a lot of people were hyped for that.
Yeah.
That's why I think for this episode, I think I put it in all caps. Actually, I did. I put it. I put that bitch in all caps, brother. Yeti Wookie says RBF is nothing but otter cannons placed everywhere, and the otter spamming chat is annoying and causing a lot of lag. Is this true, Frosty?
That got changed, so not anymore. They did remove the otter spamming in your chat recently. It no longer appears in the all chat.
That's good.
I don't know if the chat was causing lag, but it's definitely not there.
Has your opinions changed on the otters at all?
In what way? What was my opinion before? I can't remember.
I think you thought that they were kind of silly, but you didn't mind them.
I don't. I think they're kind of cool. I mean, I think they're kind of cool. I just think for me, and I mean it's the same I guess with all pet classes. Like it feels gimmicky because of the way they scale, so they don't feel like they're doing anything in PvE, and it's even weirder in PvE on Corsair because unlike the other pet classes, they don't even come out consistently. Like they have these weird delays where sometimes you'll go through an entire rotation of skills and no otters come out, and then on the next pack they'll come out, and then on the following pack they're not. So it's
right.
Yeah, kind of weird, but I think that they're pretty cool. In PvP they do damage even against people with gear. They still like add a little bit of extra like chip. Like they're kind of like I mean, dude, I actually have had a lot of times in Node War where right after I die or a little bit after I die, I get a kill because they're still shooting at something. So, they can keep your HP down. They whittle you down. And if they're all hitting you at the same time, they actually do a lot. I just wish they were a little bit more consistent with how they came out.
Fair enough. Hydra159 says the problem with the Guardian grab for me at least is that it has a wanky hitbox. Most of the times it doesn't grab the enemy even if they are 2 centimeters in front of them or just a bit on left right. For the second part, when you have a skill on hotbar and go to an NPC and press 2 to access storage, sometimes the character does the ability from the hotbar instead of accessing storage. Parentheses, I have Cleansing Flame on hotbar too. This also sometimes when I want to do shift RMB skill, it starts doing the RMB attack even though my shift RMB is not on a cooldown. Love the podcast. Maywa is too OP. Needs to and it's doing the ... Let me refresh my page. It's doing the ... but it's not letting me read more for some reason.
I'm about to just spread the window. Might be too small.
Maybe. Here we go. Now I can read more. Needs to be nerfed. Nayashe Heart still waiting on the dates of future release from Frosty. Future dates of future release.
Not too sure.
What are you releasing?
I don't know. What are you referring to, Hydra?
What are you releasing?
I don't know. I'll let you know when I find out.
All right. You better not be doing a solo podcast.
Why not?
You doing a solo podcast without me and Nayashe, dude? You leaving us?
I mean, Nayashe doesn't play anymore.
Whoa.
I could do I gotta get my Lost Ark podcast started.
Oh boy. Rainbow Sushi says, I think the AoE of Ocean's Allure isn't too small. Pretty sure it's planned that way since it's actually only the pulling back of the harpoon. The quote-unquote lore description of the skill does indicate it differently, though.
That person was wrong. It's absolutely wrong, and it got changed, and that's why.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, this would have been pre-change,
Isn't
right?
too small. The AoE I tested. It's a very simple test. You go into Battle Arena, where the 4 main dummies are. I'm doing this on display so people can see, because I actually had a lot of people telling me, LOL, you're an idiot. Ocean's Allure hits just fine. And it's like, no, I'm not. And you guys didn't test it. And that's why you think that, because of the mist. But the initial actual hit of the skill is not hitting. And it's a huge loss in damage because the mist is pet damage and the actual hit is based on your gear. So if you hop into Battle Arena, the 4 dummies that are like to the left, you know, the ones that are, you move down, the 4 dummies that you can't knock down that are all kind of together in a diamond.
The square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you stand directly in front of those 4 scarecrows and you used Ocean's Allure, the first part of the skill would literally only hit the scarecrow directly in front of your character, and all 3 of the other scarecrows were not hit. And you can test this easily by putting a debuff add-on on Ocean's Allure. So you use the skill, and then you see all of the mobs get hit, but then when you go over and hit every single mob to see the debuffs on their bar, the back 3 mobs didn't have any debuffs, only the first one did. So all Ocean's Allure was hitting before was literally point blank in front of your character, to the left of your character, and to the right of your character. So in the most recent patch on Wednesday, which they changed it to actually match the animation, now when you use the skill with an add-on, it hits all 4 of the dummies. They all get hit now by the skill, and it makes a huge difference in PvE because you can use that skill twice. It's only a 4-second cooldown. You can use it twice per pack, and it actually does decent DPS. So plus having an add-on on it, I think makes it pretty useful. So yes, to say it's not too small, I mean, it depends, I guess, if you don't care that you're only hitting one singular. It literally had less AoE than Fatal Blow before. So yeah. Anyway, next comment.
Next comment. Styrofoam Rock says, I'm still disappointed that Corsair's Awakening wasn't mermaid focused. The Petrarca is cool and a lot of fun to play, but it just seems like they abandoned the most interesting part of Corsair in her Awakening. I feel like Valkyrie's biggest issue is the fact that a lot of her kit, especially pre-Awakening, feels useless or clunky. Trying to go back and forth between Awakening and pre-Awakening is a chore compared to some classes. I'm personally hoping they increase the range on her team heals / buffs. I've mained Awakened Nova from day one and honestly don't have any real complaints about the Nova Awakening quote-unquote nerf. I agree that it seems fair. As long as Nova remains fun to play, especially in PvE, I will keep playing her. Are you sad that there's not more mermaid in the Awakening?
No, not at all. I think like that was the pre-Awaken kit design. I think a lot of people were confused that it wasn't like the opposite. Like it almost would have made sense that her Awakening was the pre-Awakening and then the Succession was the Awakening.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much that actually matters. But it's like no, I think it's fine. I like that it's more mermaid focused and the pre-Awakening is fine. I like the Awakening a lot. Like I actually am having more fun on the Awakening than on Suck. So then again, it is
Fair
still
enough.
newer, so maybe I'll get bored of it eventually here. Now
Go back to Hash, dude.
I do miss Hash a lot.
Post rework Hash, dude. Is Hash getting reworked?
No, he's not, sadly.
Oh.
Because I saw all these crazy changes, I'm actually sad he's not, because he could use a little sprucing up on his Awakening. Not anything crazy, but you know, some of those skills. I don't know. Now I think any class that's not getting reworked has a legitimate reason to feel a little bit jealous, because the reworks actually look really insane and fun.
Yeah. Mark and Ho says, Archer here, we totally included accuracy requests that got ditched in the keyword summary to put, quote, EG crit damage, smiley face.
Yeah, it didn't get ditched. They did a post after that. Like that summary was it was irrelevant. Like if you're upset about the summary, then you didn't understand what happened there. It was the summary
I think that was
meaningless.
the point.
Yeah.
I think that was the point of Armin's post at the beginning of that album, of him basically saying, listen, this doesn't mean much, like this isn't everything that's being suggested, so just kind of keep that in mind. But apparently people didn't read that. At least some people didn't. Magnu5 Cream said Naishi will be back when Grapple Arrow is nerfed since he doesn't want a grab.
True.
Infamous Z says with the Sage iframe change, he will die a lot quicker with how naturally squishy he is. They should buff his HP pool or make him more tanky overall. Guardian, for example, is tanky, has iframes, along with a few other classes. Sorry. Yeah, I would counter that Sage also has a lot of things that Guardian does not. A lot better movement, faster, better distances, a lot higher damage. I mean, Guardian puts out a lot of damage, but still not as much as Sage does, even with the Lightning Prison nerf. I don't know. I don't think
Dude,
he needs to be tankier. I think it's
also,
fine.
Can we please stop pretending that Sage doesn't still have 3 iframes? Please. They still have Rift Chain. You can still instant cast Shift E, and when it's overcharged, it literally fucking is just immediately iframe. Like, you can actually, if you're like anticipating a grab, you can literally Shift E to iframe grabs and like stuff like that. And you also still have Rift Chain. Plus, when you go into Shift Q, you go up in the air, you have an iframe. Like, you still have iframes. So, but the way Sage moves is actually like still so insane. That's why it doesn't need to be tanky. It's not a stationary class just because Bolt's a super armor. It still has insane mobility.
Yeah. Drifter Bob says for DK they were talking about the gaps at the start and end of skills like wheel/lunacy, etc. I don't recall what this is in reference to. I'm assuming.
I think it's still in reference to because I think on the last podcast didn't we read through like the summaries for everybody?
Was that this episode? I thought that was the one before this one. Oh no, it was this one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was this one. Okay. So he must be referring to that. It's been 2 weeks, boys, so we don't really remember too well. First name says, why are wizards such crybabies? They have one unprotected gap in their combo and they start crying. Meanwhile, there's classes like Hash and Tamer where their whole combo is basically unprotected. Yeah, that's the idea that Voltaic in Succession needs to have super armor again is truly laughable to me. As someone who played Suck Wizard for quite a while. Battle Hot Dog says change stamina consumption on lawn is probably referring to the +8 AP self buff, which costs 350 stamina. Unprotected doesn't move you at all. Most people don't use the skill because the stamina cost is just not worth it. In 1v1, the stamina isn't really an issue. I can see it for group fights a bit. Frosty, you played a bit of lawn, didn't you?
Yeah, he's talking about the pre-awaken. I'm forgetting the name of the skill, but it's AD/RMB. Like, yeah, I guess if that's getting stamina removed, but I still don't know if people are going to be using that because it's like it's unprotected and pretty slow. But I guess maybe you can cancel it. It feels a lot better. You use it a lot more in Succession than you do in Awakening. But in Awakening, it's like I don't even know why you would use it because you get an AP buff from Deadly Dance, which most people use anyway. But I don't know, or not Deadly Dance. What's the forward RMB? The one where they like are flipping their swords forward. I forget the name of it.
I don't know shit about lawn, bro.
Yeah, they like walk forward. God, what is the name? Taunting Death. Yeah, they usually use that unless that's the buff he's talking. Maybe I don't know which one he's talking about, but they both have an AP buff and a stamina cost, but I don't know.
Lost Souls says PA don't know how to balance their classes. We have some classes that can do every and anything, and some that can only do good at PvE or PvP, some that can't do anything. Feels like there should be a trade-off, like suck good at PvE, awakening at PvP. Bolt do something, bolt do something, bolt do something, bolt do something, shift Q out.
I don't agree with his comment at all, but I don't know.
I think that's something that we talked about a long time ago, how it seemed for a while like they were doing this weird thing where the Succession would be better at PvE and the Awakening would be better at PvP, or vice versa. I don't think that's really the case anymore.
What class can't do anything? I don't even.
Yeah,
I
don't think there's a class that can't do anything. This is completely
inaccurate. It's like you have classes that are weaker at some aspects but good at others. But like, I don't know. Moose says stop. You guys are such
Musa.
trolls if you think Musa can't do anything. LOL. Oh, I'm on the wrong channel. Hold on. Vel's in 15 minutes, by the way.
Hey, speaking of, the Musassin says, please read everything and thanks. Musa is an assassin class, same with Maywa, but for some oddity of reason, we don't have any skills that give an evasion self-buff. Don't know why that wasn't brought up. Also, when you read Musa's class
Oh
description
my
on PA's
God.
website, it clearly says he excels in 1v1 damage, but that's a fucking lie. Frosty, I get that Musa needs accuracy, however, I shouldn't be using gear to get the bare minimum for my hits to go through I think he meant to say to go through normally with what some other classes get. Also, I was thinking about this after our fight in BA. Why does defense gear have to affect my damage dealt? I feel only weapons, Alkstone, and accessories should affect that. DR, evasion, gear, defense gear should only greatly count towards how you'd like to build your class defensively and not offensively. The fact that Beg's Gloves gives that amount of accuracy doesn't seem right. If anything, I'd prefer if Begs and Libras gave the same amount of accuracy, and instead of the DR evasion numbers, you'd get or should be adjusted accordingly. Did I have a stroke while reading that, or did he have a stroke while typing that? If anything, I'd prefer if Begs and Libers gave the same amount of accuracy, and instead the DR/evasion numbers you'd get would or should be adjusted accordingly. Oh, okay, I had a stroke. He's good. Okay. Your thoughts? Question mark.
It's like so he's being mad at the class description on PA's website. When is the last time anybody went to PA's website, looked at the class description, and says like, okay, this is what the class does? Like it's only Musassin. He's the last person alive that is going to that website to be like, well, what is my class supposed to do? Oh, 1v1 damage. Well, it also is like hard when your 1v1 damage is based off going like off in Lieber and a Nuver with some weird build, and I don't understand why people think they shouldn't need to use accuracy accessories to deal damage to people with evasion. It's so weird. And also like it says we're an assassin, but we don't have a self buff that gives evasion. I just feel like it's so arbitrary. I don't remember the line that says assassins are gonna have evasion buffs, that's like just an inherent trait of an assassin style class. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just completely out of the loop. I don't know. Maybe I just don't fully understand Musa.
Yeah, I don't know. I also have a lot less sympathy for Mooses since I noticed there's a bunch more Mooses in RBF lately for some reason, and holy fuck do those kids hurt. Like, they are doing so much damage. It's actually insane. I don't know if Musa got a buff that I missed or something, but Jesus Christ, there are suddenly a lot more Musas in RBF, and Jesus Christ, they do a lot of damage.
Dude, the other thing too is that like I saw when we talked about it last podcast when we were reading the summaries, and the fact that like Kunos are asking for more evasion is just beyond me. I just will never understand why these assassin classes are like, dude, I wish we just were super tanky. It's so weird to me.
Yeah. All right. Jay Adams says, "Hey, can you guys possibly mention skill adding presets so the devs could consider adding it?" And then he clarifies that he actually meant to say skill add-on presets.
I mean, you have that you can literally just use your presets as skill add-on presets. You don't have to change your skills. You can have succession. That's exactly what I do. I have one that's like succession PvE and one with succession PvP. Like that already exists in our game, doesn't it? Or am I?
Oh, Jesus, Jesus Christ, Genesis. All right. Genesis says, reason so many sages are upset is because over one third the skills (6) are melee range based that actually require and or bring you to the target. Kit was clearly designed around iframe with its unique gimmick of overcharge bolt for teleporting around the target.
Halt here. Genesis,
I'm halting.
Genesis, right off the bat, you're wrong. Right off the bat. He says the kit was clearly designed around iframe with its unique gimmick of overcharge bolt for teleporting around the target and trying to land a close range CC. The reason why I know that this is false is because you didn't even have overcharge bolt until 4 weeks after Awakening Sage came out. So the entire kit was designed before you could do overcharge bolt. So that is literally completely wrong. It was not designed around doing that because that wasn't even a part of the kit until after the class came out. All right, continue.
All right, continuing. Trying to land a close range CC, which most of his skills are. That's not a long range kit. Why this misconception is out there, I have no idea. But 3/4 are close to mid range at best. LP, I'm not sure what that is. Oh, Lightning Prison. The one nerfed is its longest range skill within Lightning and the pull skill Chain Lightning. Having the second longest range. All the other skills have Shuriken Malice range or much, much less, like the 6 mentioned above. Examples for those wanting to see new dash and majority of skills we use have only close range except for those several needing direct targets.
Okay, so can we talk about how he says that none of it is really ranged? He doesn't know where that perception comes, and then he says all other skills have Shuriken Malice range.
Yeah, well, I think he means like, I guess he's hearing that people think it's a lot bigger range than it is, but it is ranged. I would consider that mid-ranged.
Yeah, it's mid-range. No one's saying it's a ranger or an archer, but every other melee class, or even like Sork, which I would consider Sork has a couple abilities that are like, you know, like with the disc and Dream of Doom and the edge of Grim Reaper Judgment they get clipped by, or Karshans. Like even with the range that Sork has, like Sage just completely outranges it with Enlightening Bolt, with Upsurge, with Lightning Prison, with Shock Relay, with their F skill, with a few of their pre-awakened skills. Like I don't know in what world that those skills are not relatively ranged. Like they outrange, like there isn't even another melee class that can even compete with the range on any of those abilities. You guys have like 6 abilities that outrange like every other melee class. Even like Guardian, like basically every skill on. All right, so Guardian has Cleansing Flame, right? And then I guess is Dragon's Maw similar range to Cleansing Flame?
I think Dragon's Flame might be a bit longer, but it does have that charge up part to it. So
those 2 skills have range like Sage, and then the rest don't. But every, like almost in Sage's entire Awaken kit has that range. Chain Lightning, Shock Relay, F, Upsurge, Enlightening Bolt, Lightning Prison. I don't know in what world that those are not ranged abilities. Like even if they're not ranged like Archer range, but they still have enough range that like, oh, I can just stay far from the target and keep poking them down without getting hit. Am I crazy? I'm like trying to figure out here how you could say that it's not a long range kit. I guess if he wants to be literal on the phrase long range, sure, it's not Ranger or Archer or Awakened Corsair, but it is mid range, and it's of the mid range of any of the other mid range classes. It has the most amount of mid range chip where you don't have to be directly next to a player.
yeah. Yeah, no, I would agree, honestly. It's definitely not like ranged as in Ranger, Archer, Witch, Wizard. That being said, it is not melee either. I definitely can hit people farther away with basically any Sage skill than I can with fucking like Frenzy Destroyer on Zerker. Or even like something like one of our like longer range skills. Like every Sage skill has the range, if not more, of Ancient Wave.
He goes on to say we don't have cast range. We have less range than Suck Sork overall, with no defensive passives
Well,
and minimal.
we're gonna get to that. Hold on,
Alright,
you're
go.
skipping ahead. He says, I personally don't mind the changes, and in fact argued in Sage Discord that overcharged iframe was too powerful for weeks after release. But currently the kit wasn't designed for long range at all, so I understand why. Sage is a more offensive teleporting around the battlefield style, while almost all the skills except for Lightning Prison showing this. MH? Which one is MH? MH is practically useless. MH. MH. Help. Which one's MH?
I don't know.
Alright, well, I don't know what MH is, but he says MH is practically useless too
Oh, he's
because
saying
of the
main
much...
hand, I guess.
Oh, main hand. Okay, I could see that. Yeah. Okay. Much slower cast speeds and even sucks range kit was previously nerfed, even affecting PvE. We don't have caster range. We have it less range than Suck Sork overall, with no defensive passives and minimal skills in Awakening to use that won't literally put us in a bad situation without an iframe to avoid damage or slows. Would you like to comment?
No, you took the wind out of my sails. I got nothing. What's the next part? I don't remember what I was gonna say.
You were talking about the comparison to Suck Sork, and
Any-
you were about to go on a rant about that.
I
but
don't
we
remember
weren't
what
there.
it was, but if you are a sage and you're actually comparing yourself to Suck Sork right now, just those two should not ever be in the same paragraph. It's actually, I'm losing what little hair I have left. It's all going. It's gone.
I agree. It was obviously too powerful, so they've nerfed the iframes. But instead of revisiting the skills like any other game dev team would do, updating them so we don't have a kit mainly designed around teleporting us to the target with minimal defense and no good iframe, they basically left it as is. Really shitty move on PA's part. P.S. Don't count Impaling Flash or Divine as iframes.
What
Both are
the
so quick
fuck?
and just as deadly to us. If you're not grabbed miraculously mid-air, you run the risk of falling through the map.
Why would you not count Impaling Flash as an iframe? You literally can fucking R&B Shift ES and you just iframe teleport to anywhere you want to go and turn your fucking camera. Why would that not count as an iframe? That doesn't make any sense because you might end up in the ground. Are you kidding me? That is Genesis. No. No. That's like a Sork. That would be like Sork getting their getting an iframe nerf, like getting let's say they got Nitro nerfed and then being like, oh, and someone's argument is like, well, you do still have an iframe. It's like, oh, don't you count Shadow Leap as an iframe? You know, the end of Shadow Leap is dangerous. Like doesn't make any sense. Impaling Flash is through and through a freaking iframe, and it's a really, really good and fast iframe. Also, one of your main iframes you use to get behind targets to float them with Lightning Bolt. Dude, that iframe is, you know how many classes, you know how badly a Musa would love to have Impaling Flash iframe or a Meiwa? Dude, that is like the most legit iframe you could even have. It's such a good iframe. It's crazy. If you're not grabbed miraculously mid-air.
Divine is Shift Q, right?
Divine is Shift Q, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I just like,
yeah.
I mean, I could understand not relying on Divine as an iframe, but Impaling Flash is like an actual iframe. Like that is like a legitimate iframe that you can use reactionary or like aggressively. So it's like crazy that they think, I mean, Genesis, I don't know if like you wrote this a week ago and now we've played Sage and you've probably played Sage. I would love to hear your comment back next week. I want you to read through and actually see if you really agree with what you said right now. But everything you said about Sage's range is incorrect. And when you say PAS, don't count Impaling Flash, it just completely like delegitimizes everything you said. That is not counting one of your main reliable iframes as an iframe is such a weird thing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. I would have much rathered them just focus on maybe some damage or some stamina nerfs and leave the mechanic as it was. But at the end of the day, this is what they chose to do, and I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. I think you're going to have to change how you play, but I think it's still fine. I don't know. Like, yeah, you can't run into the ball anymore.
I kept seeing sages say like, well, they completely removed our playstyle. It's like, but the playstyle is safe. You just have to think about where you are now. Like the playstyle is still move, use skill, move, use skill, move, use skill, move, use skill. Oh, the person died by accident. Move, use skill, moves, use skill.
No. But what they're referring to is they can't play like Sork anymore. The playstyle was you could play just like Sork, except for you have a lot more damage and also a grab.
But you
right?
can still play like Sork as long as
No,
there's not
you
20
cannot.
people. Yes, you can. I literally watch it every day. You can still play like Sork if there's only a few people. Yes, if there's like 10, 15 people, you can't sit in the middle. But you can still play. You can literally
Sure,
just circle
okay.
around the ball instead of
Yes.
directly through the ball. But your play
Yes.
style and how you're playing the class, move, usability, move, usability, move, usability, is exactly the same. Like, if they
Yes.
changed it to a 2-second cooldown and you couldn't overcharge Bolt, that would completely change your playstyle. Sage wouldn't feel or look the same at all. It would be a complete like overhaul of how the class moves and plays. But this didn't change it. It just makes it dangerous when you play it like that. So you have to either do it for a shorter amount of time or you can't do it inside 15 to 20 people, which you never should have been able to begin with.
But you can recognize that in large scale,
No, I
things have
cannot, because
changed
in
dramatically.
large scale they were not. I'm at Node War every day. I'm sorry, Sages were not sitting in the middle of 30 people, even with the Bull iframe. They were playing the edges just like they're still gonna do now. They were. Their play style is still relatively the same. They did not completely change their play style. They didn't.
I don't know. I think we're arguing degrees of difference here. The point is, I think Sage is fine. You think Sage is more than fine. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal. There's going to be some adaptation, and at the end of the day, it's still going to be a strong class, I think, honestly. So we'll see. We'll see if maybe some more nerfs will come down the pipe, or maybe it'll be considered fine where it is. We'll have to wait and find out. Infrax says uncapped siege on Calpheon was fun with the HP cap bug. Archers had the time of their life.
Oh, what was it?
I think they.
Oh yeah, the HP cap, right? I
yeah,
forgot.
the HP was capped at 5,000, and then it was doing the T1 thing where it was going down. I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny. Apparently, I think you could like fix it by like relogging or some shit. Like after it took down your HP a little bit more, or something along those lines. But yeah, that was
Did it tick all the way
not-
down to 2,500?
I assume it did. That's what it does on T1s.
Dude.
House of Mana says the song at the end is always to me like a perfect on the house scoop of ice cream after a fantastic meal. Never looked the song up because part of me enjoys looking forward to it and savoring it. Yeah, that's Frosty's old band. Unfortunately, he doesn't play with them anymore. But I like that song, and I think it makes for a good outro. So it's gonna be there to stay at least for a while. Might change it eventually, but Frosty, are you gonna try and join another band, or what's up? You just gonna take a break?
I don't know. I don't really have a place
Just-
to play drums at my house. Like,
Oh, really?
I mean, unless I like completely soundproofed a room, like I'm actually not gonna be able to play drums. It's just so loud. Drums are so loud. Either that or
Right.
get like a nice electric kit, I guess. I don't know. I just don't have the same motivation to play anymore.
You're just kind of chilling right now.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Spectual says the issue with Guardian Grab is it will show you hit and do the full animation when it actually didn't hit. No, you see, this is just a Guardian problem. No one else has this problem. Now you die, not to counterplay, but bad coding. Miss B how Rizlar feels about being gimped out of his protections. Yeah, that happens constantly to me, and I know a lot of other people as well. But with my dog shit internet, yeah, about I would say 10 to 15% of the time that shit will happen to me, and it is very frustrating.
I think yeah, the amount of times I've gone into Suicide Fall where it's showing me my character flipping in the air and then I do Shadow Slash hard aiming only to be CC'd by something because they weren't actually grabbed it. Yeah, definitely not just a Guardian problem. I think on Guardian they probably feel it a lot because of the slower animation.
Yeah.
But it's definitely all grabs. A lot of grab classes deal with that.
I've noticed a new problem recently. I actually just realized that hasn't really been happening to me that much lately, but I've noticed a new problem where I grab someone and it successfully does the grab, like they're in my arms and everything. And the second that we are out of the grab, right? Now they should be bounded. They're just standing there. And then they get to just use a skill. I've noticed that this has been happening to me recently. It happened to me a bunch in my BA fights earlier today, which was very confusing.
Did you get your reward
Nelson-
bundle?
My
you,
what?
You didn't go to Vel, did you? You know it's double drop right now.
Oh yeah, I didn't. We're doing comments, man. Busy. Nelson Uzumaki says that art class suggestion is crazy. Imagine if they follow that, some classes would be way ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not it's not worth much though. It was a very brief summary of some of the things that were mentioned. So don't take it as gospel.
Hrazul in chat said that he said with iframe bolt you could play around spear bolt, quickly get behind people. The style of play got a substantial nerf. Now you have to stay around the enemies, can't really step into them and survive even with just 4 to 5 in the vicinity. In a sense, it was a nerf to outplay potential, just dumbed down a bit in terms of clever things you could do. If you think that the iframe version was not the dumbed down version, that is such a crazy way to look at it to me. The iframe version was the dumbed down version. It's like the opposite of dumbed down now. It's like now you actually have to think about it. I don't understand. That's such a weird way to look at it.
Yeah. I just flicked to your screen and the first thing I see is Divios say being invincible is outplay Sork POV.
Yeah, dude.
Nelson oh sorry, I just read that. Revian says accuracy and evasion should be removed from the game. Parentheses, this ain't tab targeting, it's action combat. Aim your skills properly / use movement to actively dodge out of the way of incoming attacks. In parentheses, grab should have a counterplay mechanic like they do in every other game where they exist. Either they're slow and hard to land, or they can be teched out of if you react quickly enough to break free. Recovery for a missed grab should be punishable.
Yeah, I don't disagree with his idea at the end. Although I think he's taking the words accuracy and evasion literally. Like you can really just look at it as a different form of reducing damage. It's not like your skill, like your CCs and stuff still land, and if you have gear, you're still hitting your target. It's not like evasion in other games where it's like you literally dodge an entire attack and the attack doesn't do anything to take place of like physically moving away from an ability.
No, I think he's on to something. If they removed evasion, then I mean people might be able to kill Divios.
That's true, actually. He wouldn't be able to abuse Asula anymore.
Svarnir Trun says Frosty dislikes PvE on blank class. I'm shocked. Awakened Ninja, and I guess that's supposed to be. I don't know what that emblem is, but I think he's anyway. Hard aiming isn't only space. Can LMB RMB after a side slash flows nicely into fatal blow. Our accuracy is fine. Just put an accessory on. Honestly, don't think we need buffs. Making some of our weird skills more viable could be fun, but we're in a fine place. Please, for the love of all things, good change my grab backflip animation when I get resisted. Frosty, thoughts? You play Ninja? Do you think it's in a fine place?
Ninja's in a good spot, yeah.
Do you think the only thing that they need is to remove the backflip animation on resisted grabs?
No, I don't know why. Why does that need to get removed? I don't even understand. What's wrong with the backflip animation? It's kind of cool, dude.
He
it's super ninja.
He says, please, for the love of all things good, change my grab backflip animation when I get resisted. Apparently, this is the problem. You're just out of touch, man.
I don't know. Wait, I wonder why did you say hard aiming isn't only space?
I don't know. Apparently, you can LMB RMB after a side slash flows nicely into fatal blow. That's what he says.
I think that I think people were asking for it to be removed off of space because there's other ways to use it, and spacebar like adds conflict with concealment and stuff, and smoke screen. But I don't know.
Makes sense. Polnism says, hey, regarding the Sork stuff we read in the summaries, I'm still Ghillie with 677 gear score, but I feel like Sork has a lot of issues at the moment, less with older classes, but more with the newer ones. In summary, Sork at the current meta just feels like Sork back before the protection / CC revamp, pretty useless. They need to remove some SAs again. You cannot catch people anymore except when they are bad. Also, I agree with Frosty on the LVS servers. Fuck them. Too many people just want to earn money. And add more servers or buff the normal high-end spots in Odalita or buff Sakrea. Also remove or the Spirit Rage in Node War Siege. I am having a stroke the longer I go on reading these comments.
Yeah. Summary, Sork at the current meta feels like Sork back pretty... I don't know why...
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't know why people think Sorks are useless. I think that's so crazy. I think they run into like a Suck Nova and they're like, well, our class is bad.
yeah.
I don't understand. It's so weird.
I can't kill Suck Nova, so my class is useless. Also, yeah, man, Spirit Battle. Man, that needs to get removed immediately. It is becoming more and more of a problem every single day, it feels like. Now I have just rando fucking guilds in bullshit T2 Node Wars, like doing show cheese strats, inting to get fucking Spirit of Battle. I'm in disbelief of what is happening with this guild's PvP scene. Why are people like this, Frosty? I don't understand.
Yeah, it's super
Why do
visible.
people organize for fucking stalemates? Why do people int to abuse fucking Spirit of Battle? I don't understand people.
They want to win, dude, and get their money. But
It's
Spirit of Battle needs to be changed, like ASAP, dude. It feels so bad. It feels so bad. It feels so bad that, like, this is like a week ago. Like Vertex is pretty strong, at least relative to us. I know like Cho and other guilds probably don't feel that way, but Vertex is pretty strong in the Node War scene, and it is so weird as Apocalypse, where like if we 1v1 Vertex before Spirit of Battle, like it's probably a stalemate, right? On like a 30, a 50, or a 60, unless someone does like some really cool outplay or CTG play that like causes one of our guilds to lose. It is the most strange thing to me fighting Vertex, where we're relatively evenly matched in Node War and they get to Spirit of Battle on us. It blows my mind how crazy that is, that these people that arguably have the same or better gear than us are getting super armor for 30 seconds with 200 DR. I'm just like, why? This doesn't make any sense. Oh.
Yeah. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we talked about this on the last podcast. The best solution I've heard so far is to make it an AoE buff around your fort. I think that is a very fast, maybe not easily implemented solution for the devs, but I think that would be a very quick and easy fix in terms of balance way to fix that. In all honesty, that would be a really good change.
Yeah, it would be a defensive buff to push the guild off of you. It would be like proximity based on your fort.
Yeah,
it's like if you go outside of that, you don't have the buff. If you're in it, you have the buff. Something like that.
JJ Carver says, I bet those top 3 classes will eventually be nerfed down to wizard level and people will start moving back to Wiz. You heard it here first. What's the top 3? Sage, Nova, and who?
Well, it depends like what you're talking about, but like just in large scale, I guess Zerker. Awaken Zerker with Q buff. At least like as far as most impactful.
You put Zerker above Wizard in large scale?
Well, I mean, I guess Wizard. I don't know. It's like, I guess you can make an argument for either one.
Yeah, I guess.
It's just like because Q buff is so impactful. That's all. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's already a decent amount of people that play Wiz. I think with the reworks, it's hard to tell what people are going to be playing soon.
I think all the rerollers are going to Nova, at least for now. The Awkward Ninja says, Rip Nyashi. Also, some of those classes asking for better passives got me laughing a bit. Honestly, at this point, I would almost want them to remove/minimize passives because they either make a massive difference or nothing at all. And then his example is 10 DR is hardly anything, but 15% accuracy or 20% crit damage is a ton. They could just let gear take the wheel for counter building and such. Finally, I kind of hope the class reworks fuck wizards over utility-wise, so they can be properly addressed. Then Shy can feel the utility class space better. I think both Shies and wizards are mad at you for that comment, Awkward Ninja.
Yeah.
Because Shies just want to be a normal class, don't they?
I don't know what Shies want, honestly. I some of them want to be a normal class. Some of them just want what it does currently to not be bad in PvE and make it like a little bit easier to like avoid being killed by someone. Like defend yourself, but not necessarily kill people. And then some of them want to be able to also just kill people. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They're all over the place, dude.
Blood Wolf. Wait, Blood Wolf. Didn't I read a Blood Wolf comment already? Well, okay, we got 2 comments from Blood Wolf here. He says, wait, where am I? Here I am. At 20732, the thing is with LVO weapons, you already almost one-shot the mobs. So will a Black Star really make a huge difference? At 23103, I own a Ghillie on my main, and people who bought it years ago already benefited for all those years, so it's fair. I also use the Ghillie mainly to grind because I found less people ask for Dilfer Spot when I wear one, and it's more the fact that I have no identity with it, no guild or name. Also, I can ignore Dilfer Spot because who will they deck on, or will they flag? Question mark.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't. I unfortunately, like this week, I've been so busy. I actually haven't gotten to test what the LVO buffs are like with Pen Black Star on. I usually take the main hand, which means I lose my Black Star. So,
yeah.
But I imagine
it's
it's still a lot of
very
monster
nice.
AP. So I don't know. It kind of it might, yes, some skills one shot or almost one shot. But the thing is, like, some of the skills don't, and now having that extra Black Star damage means you'll probably do a little bit more. Some of the weaker skills might feel better. I don't know.
Yeah. Silhouette says, enjoying this podcast more and more. Keep up the great work. Thank you, thank you. Zor says, who the hell suggests BSR buffs on Mystic? They should just work on skill animations. They can make Rage Hammer and Nature/Unbridled Wrath animations faster, parentheses, remove the super armor as long as it has fast skill animation in parentheses. The Sea Burial skill too, because it has a different speed animations, parentheses, when using Flash Step into Sea Burial, it's so fast, but when using it with other skills, it's slow, in parentheses. Change Crab Jump, aka Silent Step animation too. It just looks stupid, but I think that's just me though. Remove the super armor on grab, even the failed attempt one. Maybe make the back distance further for failed attempts. That skill's the definition of a win button. It has a very fast animation too, plus 6-second cooldown. Maybe nerf the E-buff. 7?
Yeah.
7. Maybe nerf the E-buff a bit too while they're at it. That one is OP compared to other E-buffs. I've been playing Sec Mystic since it came out, and the flows are very nice, except for those with slow animations. All that I stated above are just my personal opinion.
Sammy and Tina is here right now. Sammy and Tina is our resident Mystic. Sammy and Tina, would you be disappointed if Suck Mystic got a balance patch and it was mostly focused around making their BSRs better? Would that not just be like a total letdown? I can't even believe it's like mentioned. To me, maybe I'm crazy, but I'm just like, if I'm a Mystic, the BSR is like the last thing I give a shit about. I don't even know why that was even mentioned. When I read that in the summary, I was like, oh, poor Mystics, dude. Oh no, they're at the mercy of people that are like, I wish my 100 killed everybody. And it's like, I don't know. It's so weird. I get like the BSR on the Pre-Awaken Roaring Tiger is like oddly does more damage than the Prime version. I guess there's like some weird issue with that. But it's like, I don't know. Make my class feel a little bit better in large scale when I have to fight a bunch of people with range damage is more of a priority than what my 100% damage feels like. To me, anyway.
Original HD says, I understand his statement. In taking break/quitting, I quit 2 months ago. Best decision made. It's good to take a break sometimes.
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, like, don't play the game. And I don't mean that in like a mean way. I mean that like genuinely. Like, at the end of the day, it's a video game. Like, you're using your free time to play this game that is supposed to be fun. And if you're not having fun, then don't play it. Like, go do something that is more worth your time, whether that's learning a skill or having fun. So sometimes it's good to take a break.
Yeah, if you're frustrated or tilted or like, I don't know, like sometimes I don't know. I don't understand why you'd stay on one class that just pisses you off forever and not either re-roll or just not play. That's just my thoughts. Maybe I'm weird.
Daz says, imagine if they read improve how movement speed reduction debuff stack, and they're like, oh, people want more slow stacking. Let's do it.
I know. Yeah. God, slow stacking, dude.
Scintilla Soul says Guardian's Awakening grab is really buggy. When they say improved grab, they probably mean bug fix it. As a Sucklon player, her PvP needs massive changes. Improvements to accuracy. She runs out of stamina instantly 2 to 4 iframes before she can't do more, and a lot of skills need stamina. If you get hit in S-Block, you can't get out of it due to block recoil, and her damage in PvP is awful. Blooming Nether Flower has hit split. I guess they mean split damage, right? Not damage split. So if you're hitting more than 3 people, the skill's negative damage in your combo. If they reverted her changes to when she was released, she would be balanced. Would be really nice to get MM back. MM? Mouse movement?
Mm-hmm.
Get mouse movement back? So there is more skill expression in the class too. Does that mean mouse movement?
Yeah, yeah. They removed a bunch of her mouse movement when Succession got nerfed.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Blooming Nether Flower has hit split damage, so if you're hitting more than 3 people, skill is negative damage in your combo.
Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know what they're saying. Not split damage, but hit split damage. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I also don't remember Sucklon on release. Were they busted on release?
Oh my god, they were insane, dude.
Were they? I don't remember.
Oh my god, dude. It was so much fun. It was the greatest 2 weeks of my life. Well, actually, on the first week that it was released, it wasn't super strong, but then they buffed it like 3 consecutive patches in a row, and it became fucking insane. They sped up like everything.
There's the striker treatment. Okay.
Yeah, they sped up everything and gave it a bunch of it was cracked, dude. But hold on, let me see. I don't know what he's talking about. Like Blooming Netherflower has no split damage like at all. I don't even know where that comment came from.
Split hit. He makes a point of stating hit split, not damage split.
Yeah.
Hit split. Is it like it has a certain amount of hits? So let's say it has 20 hits. If you hit one person, it does 20 hits to that person. If you hit 4 people, it does 5 hits to each person? Is that what they're saying?
Maybe that's what he's trying to say, but we know that that's incorrect because the way this quote split hit damage works in PvE, it hits all 10 targets 100% of the time. And I don't think it functions differently in PvP. So I think he's just misunderstanding. Like it's damage. I don't know. Maybe he feels that way because it has no crit in PvP. So sometimes it could feel like it does low damage because it's not critting. And people run special attack evasion, so even when you have like a little bit of crit, you still are mostly getting 0% crit. It's the only thing I could think of.
Okay. Andrew Lopke says, I'd like to see Mystic Awakening's dragon feel more, I don't know, like a pet. I'd like to see it linger and be more, I don't know.
I actually would love...
Dragon pet could be dope.
I don't want it to be a pet like Tamer Pet, but I would love if you saw it hang out around the Mystic more often.
Yes. Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It would be cool if it, just like doing its attacks, it's like the same as it works, but it would be kind of cool if like, I don't know, if you saw it just out, like kind of hanging out around the Mystic a little bit more, because it has such cool animations.
Yeah, that could be neat. Something Void says,
real quick, I forgot. I also wanted to comment on there when they were talking about the improved grab thing that they probably mean bug fix it. I know firsthand because I was reading one of the detailed feedbacks. They said, quote, fix the gap at the end of Guardian's grab when they fail a grab. So that's not fixing a bug. That means they want it to be fully super armor even on fail. That's not a bug fix. Sorry, go on.
Something Void says, I'm glad that one of the quote-unquote updates PA seemed to have forgotten in the whole sheriff and new karma system. PS, read this comment as silently as you can so that the intern doesn't hear it. Yeah, I think I don't think they forgot it. I think they got the feedback of everyone going, what the fuck, and have now put that on the back burner / in the trash.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get it, but it is interesting that it's been so long since that's come out and we don't have it.
I'm almost positive they're either like reworking it or they're just abandoned it entirely.
I don't know. I think that they are okay with it on KR. I think it makes more sense on KR because of their culture and atmosphere. Maybe I'm guessing. Like it makes very little sense in NA to me. So
Mhm.
it might be one of those things that it just stays on KR and we just never get it, hopefully.
Yeah, true. Just like pay to win. It just doesn't make sense for NA, and that's why they kept it off of our game. The Strapmeister says, you know what really grinds my gears? When you all say quote unquote I don't know after either each opinion or a suggestion you guys make. I imagine it's just a habit thing, but it does invalidate what you just said if you go on to say I don't know at the end. Regardless of that, great podcast as always.
When we say I don't know, it's more of like I don't know
We've ran out
what
of shit.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't mean like
That's
I don't know what the topic is or what I'm talking about. It's like a variation of saying except at the end, and it is a bad habit to say it.
Yeah, and we all do it, all three of us.
It's almost like like you would say I don't know in a situation where you're like I actually do want to say more, I just can't think of more to say on it right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Usually, if I'm saying I don't know, it's because I've like ran out. I still don't feel satisfied with where the conversation is, but I have officially ran out of shit to say, and so I just say I don't know, and then we just move on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kidding. Yeah, I do need to work on it though. It's a bad habit. That and saying I have a really bad habit of saying lately. That's only gotten worse.
Yeah, apparently I say like a lot. I've been told several times by multiple sources that I say like a whole bunch. I'm not trying to fix that. You all just have to deal with that. But I've been told that that's a thing I do. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the comments. Is there anything else we need to cover before we head out, Frosty?
No, I didn't get a Vel's heart. This double drop was bullshit. Dude,
Scam, bro.
I'm not gonna name any names, but I had a Ghillie a while back that was fighting. He was on a wizard, and he was fighting Vert at Star's End. This was like 6 months ago. He's fighting Vert at Star's End, and he was complaining that he couldn't kill Vert because of split damage. And I was like, here's a suck wizard. I was like, dude, you realize like the only thing that has split damage is your fucking blizzard. Like you're like using like voltaic. It's just you're like voltaic, frigid, like fireball explosion. He's like, dude, fucking there's too many mobs around the split damage making it so I can't kill Vert. That's what that blooming comment reminded me of, saying like blooming doesn't do damage because of split damage. I don't know. It was just kind of funny.
You don't know, huh?
I do know. Sorry. Whoops. There it is again. God damn it, man. I do know. It was funny. I do know. I didn't mean to invalidate that entire story. All right. That's our show. Close us out, Rez.
And then you're going to hit us with an Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for everybody for watching. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Sorry for missing last week. Occasionally just happens. Make sure to join the Discord. That's where, if you're wondering where we're at, if we're going to be recording late, like this episode we're recording on a Sunday. If you're wondering where the podcast is out, or when it's out, or what's going on with it, what's up with it, join the Discord. I always let people know in the announcements channel in there, like what's going on, basically. What else is there? Oh, check out our streams. It's all linked in the description. Obviously, Nyashi is on vacation, so he won't be streaming anytime soon. But twitch.tv/Nyashi_NA. You could find Frosty at twitch.tv/SoFrosty, and you can find me at twitch.tv/NotReslar. Shout out to the patrons again. We appreciate you guys for what you do, keeping us in this, helping us out. And yeah, that's it. We'll see y'all next week.